Audio 2. We are live. Why are we live? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the bonus roll Second Side Agency campaign. I am your host and Dungeon Master, GM Gearnos. The background music you're hearing is provided by Sirenscape. We are officially at level 10 and at the halfway point of the campaign. Congratulations, guys.
Oh my god.
Thanks.
There is some stuff that's going to start going down that's really messed up.
Oh dear.
I'll hold you to that, and I will not hold you if I should die.
Nah, I mean, y'all have hit the point that, like, the cleric should be able to bring anyone back from the dead who dies, as long as y'all don't have a total party wipe.
That's the hope.
Aren't worried about the conditions that Rail's mom might put on bringing people back.
Hi, Doom. Thank you for hosting us. I appreciate that.
I'm still an entire spell level away from
being able
full-on raising the dead.
I know. I checked everyone's sheets last night while I was making magic items and adding them to people's sheets.
Oh, okay.
I also removed an item from 2 people's sheets, and I'm not telling you who or what item.
Oh no! That is less than optimal.
I was thinking.
Oh, dang it.
Well, everyone is scouring their character sheets. Why don't you all do your introductions, too? I am bleeding. Why am I bleeding? Ow.
Please don't bleed.
It's just the arm.
Hey, folks. I'm Demage. I'm a little lethargic today, but here I am, and I play Griggum. It's like the drunken monk goblin of Slesnia Conclave. There we go. Not the best order, but hey, sue me.
You know what they say? Any order is better than the first order.
It's weird that we have a specific order for how we describe things, you know?
Yes. Especially since it's an unwritten rule.
Yeah, it always has to be big brown cat. It cannot be brown big cat. It sounds weird.
That's how the English do. Our language is just messed up. And in speaking of less messed up things, hi, I'm Merle. I play Rail Corvino. He is a priest. He is an Orzhov. He was a Simic. He is the best dressed person in the room. In any room. And he is semi-engaged and doesn't want to be. But, yeah. Watch out for the bird. Watch out for the cane. He will beat you up with both.
That bird got punched, so be a little careful with the bird.
Yeah. Okay, try to keep the bird out of harm's way for now, but he'll beat you up with the cane, which also has a bird on it.
Alright, let's hear from Halo.
Hey, I'm Halo. I play Pharaoh Temviz, also known as Frizz. Just realized that I think some of the things was taken off was I'm missing a lot of those electric crystals. Was that one of those things? Okay, cool. I'll take that as a yes. But yeah, I'm in. Is it Storm Sorcerer? I like lightning. Yeah, that's basically it.
Crystals aren't off my horse sheet.
I don't have access to your horde sheet.
Huh?
I went down from like 10, 9-ish, however, to like 5.
Actually, you do have editing on it.
I know. I just say that I don't. That said, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, the cute one, go.
Okay.
I just win.
I'm Farrier.
No, take it away, Farrier. Let's hear it.
Hi, I'm Farrier. I'm the Simic, hybrid Simic Ranger. Married. I guess I'm ambivalent about it at this point. Kind of.
Great relationship status.
Relationship status. It's complicated.
You gain a little robot-y.
A little bit.
So Try flailing
Okay.
your arms around a lot.
All 4 of them.
Okay, now talk while doing that.
Hi everybody, I'm Faradir. I'm the Simic hybrid. Simic. Wow, this is really getting into a your stomach pat your head scenario of talking and doing this. I don't know why. I learned something new about me today.
Don't forget Kay.
And Kay, who is a good boy, he is a warhound. Yes,
Yeah.
a trained warhound who is definitely a good boy.
Fishy jelly ink dog.
Better keep him away from
Two.
Griggum. Better keep him away from Griggum or become a booze hound.
All right, Zizva. You're up, my love.
I play Ingrid Corvidae. She's a Golgari shaman who's recently gone somehow in Golgari shaman rank, though she doesn't know to what, because she is manifesting traits from her family's magical line.
And so, now the answer to the question of who had items removed from their sheets. I removed a carriage from everyone's sheet. After I added a carriage to everyone's sheet.
Oh.
It's probably just a receipt for the carriage trip that we had when Asaf summoned us anyway.
Oh, memories. Being threatened by an angel. Okay, so, to entertain the 4 people that we have viewing us, welcome to our game. I guess we should get this started with a recap, and then people can throw out any updates or announcements or plug your personal projects if you want.
Escape.
Did you just say RuneScape?
Sirenscape.
I said Sirenscape already. Sirenscape is a
Oh,
powerful
I
tool.
apologize.
It provides a
I
really good
apologize.
musical atmosphere to anyone who needs to have a musical atmosphere provided to their game.
I'll be honest, I heard Farscape. So
I loved Farscape. We
Yeah,
have missed.
It's
We
good.
haven't had chat and chill in 2 weeks, and I am just hurting to sit and babble on about shit for an hour.
Babylon
Yeah.
5.
Oh,
There's so much important stuff for the recap. And only thing is Ingrid doesn't know 2/3 of it. So
I wasn't there for a lot of it. Yeah. So before we get recaps, Reroll, really cool app. That's another character I played as for a week, maybe. You can just pretty cool. I have my character on here somewhere. You'll probably see it eventually.
Oh, I'm working on some hella maps.
we'll probably see it today because we are probably getting in a lot of combats.
Yeah, we're probably gonna die, but it's all right. I have low
We're gonna do
expectations.
the best we can. And probably die. But the best we can.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
We took an evening off. We did that yesterday on Grieve the 13th.
hmm
Everyone was sick and tired, and there were surgeries going on.
Surgery.
Yeah.
We found out that Faradir is an elder of his tribe.
Well,
I am Senpai.
elder as in they're apparently not expected to live particularly long.
Who knew that invasive exploratory surgery and augmentation had a deleterious effect on the lifespan?
Yeah,
Hey.
we'll figure it out.
I knew.
I mean, he's 25% over the expected lifespan right now.
Yep.
I don't think he's told me
Awesome.
not to turn him into a zombie, so I'll keep that in mind.
I mean, we have 2 experts in biological research. Unfortunately, he's one of them, but
What do you mean, unfortunately?
What do you mean,
Well, because
expert?
you can't bring yourself back if you're the one who dies, so...
Um,
So what you're saying is we need
really
to
depends.
invest in cloning.
I like that idea.
I mean, there was someone flirting with the high-level
In
wizard,
before, like,
but they didn't keep up the relationship.
in before we find a room filled with clones of Grigum.
Oh God!
Oh.
Close the bars. Save the alcohol.
Look, Grigum's disposition is mostly due to his, I guess, experiences. And like, blame his master, not him, for his drinking of it.
All right.
Those experiences are entirely real and not simulated.
I mean, does it really matter if they're simulated as far as being formative goes?
I mean, I am fairly sure at some point in the future it's going to be someone's job to just sit there and manually input experiences into AI so that they don't kill us.
Yeah. Oh,
See,
don't know.
we also found out that some of the deaths being reported, Ingrid needs to catch y'all up on this today because we didn't go over that because it wasn't our current thing we're doing. But some of the deaths being reported might be people that don't exist just to hide the activity is still mostly in the fourth, possibly.
Yeah, y'all may want to
Did that-
actually get out of the underwater area and go and sit down with Farrell and like, hey, this is the stuff that's going on, just so you know if you want to hang out with us.
I don't know
To
any
do
of that.
We know a little bit of
tips
it because
along the
Ingrid was
way.
like, hey, can you keep a secret?
Yeah, no, I know
Like a
there's
bounty
like
and stuff.
I know a little bit. Just like I know there's a dragon. That's
Oh,
At this point, the dragon is a, I don't know, fourth on our list, like, of worries. It's like,
I love that the dragon is the fourth on the list of worries.
I mean,
Dragon.
it's perfectly. Look, it's perfectly. It's perfect. Look, it's perfectly happy staying in its little pocket dimension for now.
Oh, that dragon!
Not that dragon!
This is why I asked
Dimension.
which dragon.
There is no other dragon. Like, oh wait, no. Okay, I remember. There was one that we sent to blast the Orzhov ones. It's like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Killed
that's
it.
the dragon that we're going to be negotiating with. Hopefully.
Yeah. To tell off Isoff, she thinks it exploded her whole temple complex. They're currently kicked out of the Gruul, and we're going to help a negotiator go talk to them.
Because they
The
want to be
dragon.
back in the
Who's
Gruul.
picked out?
Oh yeah.
Oh, right. No. Okay. Yeah. No. I get it.
Yeah,
No.
Office of the Guild Pack says this clan is not recognized as a member of the Gruul clans.
Right.
Their notebook.
I thought you went and got your
No, I
notebook.
I did, and I thought I grabbed all of them.
Do you
But
need
that,
to go
but
and...
the dragon is Sod, eater of all.
Is it
Should
Sod?
be really
Yes.
easy to help
Yeah.
negotiate with, right?
Hey, Equilibrium.
Yeah, no,
Because that
I
one
mean,
ranked
we had a good
1,
time
2,
together.
3, or 4.
We didn't
Just
stop them
ask.
from rampaging. Let's put it that way.
Clearly
We just
what we
directed
need
it
to
elsewhere.
Really, what we need to do is go to the undead dragon and have them negotiate for us with the live one.
I need to test something
No.
real quick.
Really do that.
Tux, can you do me a favor and turn off your video for a second? Now, I need you to sing
What now?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. It's a song that exists.
Yeah,
don't
your
know
sound
the
is better.
words.
You have to go
Never
no
played
video
it.
too, like us.
Oh,
Yeah.
the video, it's dropping. Oh. Okay, so,
That's the internet for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
huh.
I'll be honest. I only know of Oklahoma for the fact of one comedian talking about his time being in theater, and it's like how it's a Groundhog's Day situation where you just have to do the same things over and over and over. You can't just go on stage and be like, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
No,
no.
you could, but you'd get in trouble.
No, pretty much anything involving theater is doing the same thing over and over again every day until you spray 6 kids on hanging out on a couch with a fire extinguisher, throw the fire extinguisher out into the bus ramp, and then walk off.
Let's see. Arasa and Fairdeer had lots and lots of conversations written down. Found out Fairdeer used to be in debt as of Arasa, and it somehow got paid off, and he was taken, and the house exploded. And he wants to go to 2nd Precinct to try to look through records to see if the Azorius know anything about its history.
So let's pick
Gray
this.
told him to cash in his question.
Okay, so I have successfully stalled for about 1/8 of our time. So let's go ahead and do this in character now. Y'all are currently underwater, underground.
I thought you still wanted the recap. That's okay.
Shit, that's right.
Oh,
We didn't
most
even
of them
do
are-
the recap.
That's what I was
Yeah.
trying to do and interrupting and doing in sections.
Okay, well, I did not realize that, and I apologize and blame Tux.
That's fair.
See.
I believe you were on,
Grigum has
Yeah.
gone to test his coin. We don't know he has. Well, he has it. We just don't know it's a special coin.
Yeah.
So he's been experimenting
And-
with his coin.
I've been confronting Cathal over it.
There was a lot of Cathal discussion. I'm not sure you even remember all the Cathal discussions.
Well, I wasn't there for all the Cathal discussions, so that's fair. I think.
I mean, you were the one that last episode had the discussion with her.
I think she means when
Yeah,
you were
no.
talking with Cathal about the fact that the Second Sight Agency has existed previously.
Mm-hmm.
I really
Yeah,
need
no,
to get that
I was
episode
there
up.
directly for that, so of course I'm going to remember that.
I was saying you as the mage. I wasn't sure
Oh.
how much you remembered of it because I don't think you were taking notes at the time.
No, it's like I have lost so many notes. It's like, and it's like it's not that I am not trying. It's like I just sometimes there's a lot that's happening, and if I start
Oh, yeah.
typing one thing, I miss 2 other things in the process. So I'm like,
I hear that.
I mean,
And
I
I don't wanna-
imagine like in 3 months you're going to find a note on your computer that just says slime wine and have no idea what it's about.
you know, I made a character once entirely on just a blank sheet of paper, and this was during a party, so I was partially drunk. Next morning, I was looking at it. It's like, okay, time to put this onto an actual character sheet. It's like, what the fuck is this? Why did I write? Why is this? Why is there a 2 in the middle of this sheet? What is the 2 for? I don't know what the 2 is for. It's like,
We learned Erasic and Scry. Faradir told everyone about his marital status. We tried to scry on the angel, but she had shielded herself. And then we went down to explore the lab, which is now flooded, and we found out that all the creatures are gone. And that's pretty much where we left off. Other than we have assembled some possibly quite valuable, is it constructed Simic Lab bio-sustainer orbs?
Those things got really jacked.
Yeah, but it's all right. Did we ever bring them out, or are they still like in the water with us?
Y'all are still
I
there.
think we were
Yeah.
planning on going up though, because Ingrid
Yeah.
wants to swap out some gear. Like put her backpack actually on and have rope and take the map and put it closer.
And,
Like look at it for what underwater rivers we're at.
Yeah.
and y'all may
So-
want to warn Feralden about what may be down there.
For all of them.
Maybe.
Feralden.
Pretty sure he's down there.
Frizz.
Yeah, at this point, I kind of feel like we just need to cover the entrance so that it's unusable and just call it a loss. It's just, I feel. Are we assuming we're back in character? My feeling is that
You're underwater and drowning as you speak.
Not drowning.
not drowning.
Oh,
we
right,
used,
right.
underwater breathing, but
and I'm on the
basically, we don't know where those currents go. For all we know, they could go through all of Ravnica, which we don't have enough water breathing time to do. I think we just need to call it a loss at this point.
Let's swim up because we need to talk to Grigum anyway. We'll discuss it up there. I mean,
Yeah,
you were
fair
the
enough.
one that was like, this whole thing threaten Ravnica. We need to find out. And I mean, just found out the whole things threatening Ravnica have escaped-ish, been stolen.
Yeah, but they
It's
have
definitely a discussion we need everyone here for, and Ingrid swims
Sure.
up for.
Of note, there are very clear weapon marks of either like an axe or a large chopping blade on the portion of the device that Farrell removed.
You said one of them was worse than the other, though.
Yeah, one of them was really jacked, and the other was just only mildly jacked.
Ingrid will carry at least one of them up because she has a swim speed. Maybe both if she can.
Yeah, I can carry them up. However many.
They're not terribly heavy, especially with water buoyancy.
Yeah, if needed, I can just shape water and then just kind of jet them up as we go.
So say, I'll cheer you all on and cast guidance.
Just grabbing one and swimming up.
Yeah, I'm not making y'all
navigate
roll
themselves.
anything for it. Y'all just swim up there with them. There's nothing actively obstructing y'all, and this is not a terribly difficult task.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then we'll get them out of there.
So,
Yeah.
Grigum,
Mm.
everything's been smashed, and the water flooding was intentional. They're opening hatches down there.
Okay.
So all the dangers threatens the future of Ravnica monsters are probably loose. Just, letting you know.
Well, it depends what happened to the tubes.
Smashed. And there was a bit of skin, I think. How has it?
Well,
Those things like we fought down there last time.
I thought we determined that they were not viably alive. It's like,
No,
Not those things.
we
The other
determined
things.
they didn't have the sentience to be intelligible, and
we were told they weren't alive. It's like they couldn't be alive because they didn't have
No.
the processes for living. It's like,
I don't know if you want to
The Mind Mage.
verify.
The Mind Mage essentially said they are not intelligent, and any intelligence that they do have is badly insane.
right, but weren't we given a follow up on their physiology as well? Like from someone else? Like,
Yeah,
pretty
y'all
sure
had
we
no
did,
access to its physiology as near as I can tell in my notes. Let me check.
I offered to do a spell to try to kill them, but we were going to go get some backup dynamite and stuff first, and we left.
Yeah, Blade read them that there was... The only person y'all brought in from the outside was Blade. They said... unintelligent, emotionally charged, may not be viable outside the tubes.
right, and those tubes are very specific in what they are, in what they're living in. It's like,
Yeah,
that water is not.
Yeah. I mean, there were no bodies down there.
Right, but that doesn't mean that they're alive down there. It's like,
Well, I think
More importantly,
they were
they're
clearly
gone
stolen
and
for
dangerous.
research purposes, so
I'll-
being
I'll
alive or
grant you
dead
that.
is...
It's like, I'll grant you that. It's like they definitely were stolen. It's like, I just don't think they're loose. It's like,
Yeah, I think that somebody captured them, and I think that either they're researching the corpses or what remains of them, but...
I hesitate to use the word capture on corpses, but it's like I will concede the point all the same. It's like,
They were acquired.
Whether,
Yeah.
whether
they are
they're alive
both
or
loose.
not,
I suspect they're both loose and dangerous, but I might be a bit of a pessimist.
I'm
But-
feeling the same, honestly. I don't think
Yeah.
we're lucky enough to assume that they might be dead.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't assume
let me
they're
put it
dead.
this way.
Right.
Only one was actually really living, it's like, of the bunch. It's like,
No, he said
We
one of
met-
them had a strange emotional energy. He didn't say one was living.
the guy we met. The one that actually took himself out of the tube. Well, maybe not took himself. Probably the cult over there.
Him.
Yeah, him. Like,
Uh,
he definitely was a lot more like capable of being alive than the rest. It's like
I
the
believe...
the rest feel like failed experiments up to the viable one. It's like, am I wrong?
Why was he in one of the middle tubes?
No, he's talking about Zorad. The deep silent y'all met.
I thought he was talking about the one with the spear arms that was...
No.
The one who was able to talk, who we...
The
So
one
we
that
don't know
screamed
that
at you.
Zayad was a scientist down there, theoretically. We don't
At
know
one
that he was
point.
from a tube. There was one empty tube, and we don't know if it belonged to that creature with the spear arms, which seems the most likely,
Why would it be this one with the spear arms? It's like,
because there was one empty tube and one creature locked away in a room that didn't seem to have sentience and was hostile.
but
And the
he's similar-
scientists that seem to have
he's
been there
similar
a while.
to
have
other
been taken
creature that
note.
had nothing to do with the tubes. It's like,
Well, so those other creatures...
and there's only one tube that's missing, and then two creatures of the same design. It's like, why would they be connected to that? It's like,
Which two creatures of the are you talking about?
yeah, no, the spear dudes. It's like,
Yeah, there was one
There was-
spear dude.
there's more than one.
We
You
fought
met more than
another-
one. It's like,
That other spear dude in the... Is it...
The other
in the
spear
facility.
dude was the Flayer, and that was controlled by the Dryad that was Valora's friend. It's unrelated.
Oh,
no,
so just similar design ethos?
Y'all are...
As a note,
Okay.
I don't think the Simic are extremely creative in terms of their
Okay, y'all are thinking of Voneth and her flayed man, who was in...
no. I was speared by two of these things before, and it wasn't the flayed man at this time around. I was like,
Oh.
You fought the one
remember,
in the
I
room
was the
and
one
we
that
burned
kept
it.
the spear in me, so it didn't
Yeah.
spear anyone else when we
The
first met
underwater
with them.
lab that we burned. Creature.
Yeah, that was the first
was
one y'all
one.
encountered.
Right, and then we fought another one. It's like,
We
which
fought
did the
something
same-
that could
Yes,
spear
it's-
you, but it
and
was the
did
Dryad
grapple at the same
creature.
time. It's like, it had the
Yes.
same mechanics to it. It's
Yeah,
It could also teleport, and it was
That was the flayed man?
yeah, the flayed man
was
has
the-
a ranged grapple. He'll grab you and pull you close to him, and then try and teleport away to do dark and horrible, bloody things to you.
And then there was the one that would spear you, drag you in, and then do an AoE burst from itself. It's like,
Yeah, that's the one that y'all encountered in the lab. The flayed man doesn't spear you. He just has really long arms and really big claws. So he
but
grabs you.
We fought another spear dude. It's like,
Oh.
I know we did. It's like,
Okay, well, I think we should drop it. It doesn't really matter which one from the tube.
Right, the important thing is there are
if that
missing
thing's from the
bodies.
tube, then who was the guy we talked to that was much radically different than any living species we've met so far in
One we talked to
The
that
one
Except
was
who's
me.
chased by the
Fair
Fed?
Deer.
Faraday doesn't look anything like him.
The Scion and Faradir looked alike. They had both Kraken mutations. Even tested if the armor lit up with him, the same as with Faradir. And he was a scientist down there who'd been doing notes for a while, and then the watery creatures broke in to steal his notes.
And we don't know how
He
he
was from
wound
the
up
Guardian
what
Project.
he was.
Where did you get this information? That's my question.
He told us.
Talking to him.
I thought he told us he was captured in there.
But they were coming to take his notes and kill him.
Well, I understood that they were coming to take notes and they were going to kill him. I didn't think that they were his notes. I was like, I didn't understand that they were his notes. I was like,
It was a
Or
bit,
either his or the other scientists were originally down there, theoretically.
right, wasn't it Rail and Faraday's lab? I was like,
At one point,
But
yes.
there were other people.
yeah, but at what point did he come in and they never knew him? It's like,
Yeah, Faradir,
didn't-
Rail, y'all didn't know Zassad. Y'all
Didn't
don't
live
know.
To
on
be fair,
site.
we also didn't know our own director, so like in character, I'm not going to take memory of people to be
look,
buried.
Yeah, like in character, I don't care what happened to Faraday because he has this whole memory shit going on with him. It's like, so he's excused. Rail, on the other hand, is like as meticulous as he is, it's like, and the fact that he is our documenter, it's like,
yeah, but remember that Corral modified both of our memories to not remember that she was Corral. She was just the director to us.
She had basically an amulet that made anyone around her not know.
And modify their memories.
Well, the unrecognizable parapet just makes it so people who know you can't recognize you.
Right.
She did both.
Right, but we don't know what else she might have done.
Right.
Rail does have
she wasn't
several blank spots of memory.
She wasn't using the necklace at the girls' night out party when she talked to you.
I'm sorry. I was like, I'll stay out of this conversation because you folks know what's going on. I don't. I'll just.
So,
we don't know that much of what's going on.
Yeah, my kind of feeling is that they escaped into the Ravnican sewer system, meaning that, and I can't really track swimming things. They don't really leave like footprints or anything. So I think that as far as the lab, we just demolish the entrance so that nothing can go down there, and we try to pick up research otherwise. But as far as this lab physically, I say we just write it off.
You would know.
I can't track creatures underwater. That's quitter talk. I'm telling you.
You would know that the lab goes 600 feet down. The primary sewer system is maybe 150 feet down.
We're looking at like the rivers like we bought the map for.
Okay. I think we should do that before we go back to.
If I can interject,
idea.
Sure,
I think breaking the just any entrances and just demolishing and letting this thing just sit here is a pretty bad just plan. I mean, it may just absolve us of all responsibility and all consequences. But for anyone else trying to just use any sort of this structure here, repurpose this, rebuild here, any like underground construction, anything that could happen here, that's just putting it all into them and leading someone else who is less trained in our ways than just to be put to death. Essentially, if there are weird creatures that are swimming around down there.
Oh, you heard them use the word kraken like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I've heard kraken a couple times.
On the one hand, I absolutely
does that mean you're in if we go down there, Frizz?
Sure, yeah, no, I can definitely try to help. I do have some experience just cleaning maintenance work, like I can help with that. We can probably find a good way to get the water out of there, at least like to a reasonable level.
I think we just close the one hatch.
Yeah, theoretically. I just think that pushing this onto someone else is very just irresponsible.
I think that I was right the first time when I said that we should just destroy the samples, the creatures in there.
Well, and you have been proven right.
We didn't know if we broke the case if they would come out alive and attacking or not was our problem at the time.
That's why we killed them in one blow in smashing the thing.
Well, I just personally wanted to make sure that they weren't like people.
Look, I get it.
Families.
It was a reasonable thing. He's like, I'm just saying that.
Yep.
Ingrid's grumbling like, I offered.
I mean, that was the thought when we went down this time. They were just gone already. But more, on the one hand, I absolutely agree that there is a definite threat posed in future. That if we just try to bottle this up and forget about it, whatever's down there is not going to be resolved.
At the same time,
on the other hand,
equipped to deal with it?
I was going to say, on the other hand, nobody's paying us for this.
Well,
okay, then.
Ingrid's repacking her equipment while we talk.
Y'all know that both Corral is connected with this lab, as well as Zasad mentioned Dr. Cardot at one point.
Yeah.
Dragon did, or someone else?
Oh, sorry, not Zasad. Damn, where's his name again?
Scion.
Dasan, yes.
Mentioned Cardot. I don't remember his name, but it was a Scion, he said.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that we just need to make sure that we keep our funds liquid and in the black.
Look, we've got a couple of jobs lined up, so it's not money I'm worried about. It's the fact that we don't have the equipment to deal with this. We don't have
You
pardon me.
okay?
You don't have the training. We don't have the we're not doing. We can't do this. Is what I'm understanding. We don't have the skill for it.
I don't know that we can't
Yeah.
do it.
Out of character,
This is
because
out of
just
our wheelhouse. I'm sorry. It's like,
out of character. So as far as the Is It League goes, they do specialize in this sort of stuff, just cleaning and maintenance working. Do they have any way that we can either report this and then have them take place, at least to absolve us of responsibility, and then do that? Is it common knowledge that we can report this, or is there ways that we can request help, or even I can request some sort of technology? Is that feasible?
There are a few options in that manner. You can. This park is going to be taken over by the Selesnya in about a few weeks. So them being aware of it would probably lead to them enacting some plan to deal with it.
Yeah.
The Is It League certainly has a number of technological marvels that would enable the issue to be dealt with in one way or another. The area is technically part of the Undercity, since it is 600 feet down, which is well below the current infrastructure level of Ravnica, meaning that there are a number of parties invested in maintaining or expanding the Undercity as possible, including the Golgari, the Demir, and the Rakdos. So there are a number of guilds you can go to and say, hey, this is here, this is something that should probably be dealt with. Which guild you choose to go to and who you choose to approach is entirely up to y'all, if y'all want to approach a guild about this.
Brigham, what resources do you think would be needed that we don't have?
I feel like swimming through a river hoping we're going the right direction is not the way to approach this. I think we need more information before.
Can I
Try to
scribe
do such
on Coral? Did it look like she was going downstream or upstream?
The water looked still when she was walking through the
Okay.
water tunnel.
Well, if we need more information, someone just found out that they have a wife who is very good on just magically collecting sort of information like that.
This is true.
Perhaps we could see if there's anything that she could do.
That
True.
magical information gathering also told her that they would be able to get back together if she broke his ankles.
Yeah, technicality
That
is
is
technicality.
also true. But
But
more
that was in the past.
I mean,
I
it-
guess
Trying
maybe
can't
it
lie
kind
to
of
her.
worked. It
I
maybe
mean-
kind of worked. It's
Yeah.
just communication. There was a breakdown in communication. We're working on it.
more again.
It's about moving forward.
I do
Ingrid's looking at
trust,
the map.
Alright, anything you're
trust
looking for in
Brigham's-
particular?
Wait, is Brigham
Let's let Rail
frozen?
finish.
Hmm?
No, he's there.
Oh, okay. I do trust Grigham's tactical acumen, and so if Grigham thinks that we don't have what it takes to do this, I'm curious to find out what more we would need, what resources we're missing.
Look, first and foremost, it's their home ground. Like we don't have any expertise in dealing with things underwater, like at all. Period. Zero, zilch. Like, except for maybe Faraday. Like, and even then, when have you lately been doing anything underwater?
I will personally admit that I haven't exactly attacked like organized, like coordinated battles underwater.
Fair.
It's really more animals that got out of hand. If any.
Let's be honest. Anything that we've done underwater is that we've been able to do underwater is because we had the convenience of doing it. It's not been our thing. It's not our forte. It's like, this is their forte. This is their home ground. They know the place inside and out.
Well,
And if we get lost, like all of our resources in dealing with being underwater is limited. Like, they don't have to worry about that. They can chip away at us and probably trap us and wait for us to just slowly die out down there.
well, you wouldn't,
That's
because
the
you
thing.
could just be made to breathe again for another 24 hours.
Right. Sorry, Ingrid, you were saying?
Breathing is not a problem.
As far as the map, she's kind of looking to identify what's under where they're at right now. I mean, do you have, like, the talkie spell thing prepared where you could just, like, hey, Karal, did you steal those things? Are they dangerous? I mean, just ask.
Wait, what do you mean by talkie spell?
Thing where you talk to people in their heads.
Oh, sending, is that?
Yeah.
I do not have it prepared, unfortunately.
Don't you have that thing where you make a note to her automatically as a document?
Not Cathal. Wrong.
Yes, it's not just me.
I didn't say Cathal.
No,
Yeah,
he
no.
got them
I'm
too
sorry.
confused.
I heard it wrong. I apologize.
Unfortunately, I do not have sending prepared.
Cathal probably does.
I actually swapped that out for water walk because I
Um,
figured it might be something we needed.
That's some beautiful irony.
I do have animal messenger. I
Ingrid,
have birds.
We
you,
need a fish.
Ingrid, you were examining the map. Make an investigation check for me. You're looking to identify where you all currently are on the underwater river maps. Yes.
7.
7. You're fairly sure you're somewhere on that map.
Okay.
Good to know.
Conversation has been a bit distracting. I'm gonna that.
Yeah, we're all talking about fairly heavy things.
I think
So-
I have a solid plan. Okay. This seems the majority of the group does not want to deal with us ourselves, correct?
Well,
I don't care either way.
We could take a vote.
Okay, then let's take a vote. Who wants to go down there and fix this and try to resolve the situation?
I'm confident that we
I
can.
think Grigum's supposed to take the vote.
Oh, I'm not out of character. I don't
no,
know
no,
this. I'm,
hey,
No,
give
no,
him a
I'm
break.
saying
Give him a
that in
break.
character. I'm saying
Yeah,
that
like-
in
Yeah.
character.
Oh, I kind of look around like,
Give him a break. He doesn't know. It's like,
It's okay. We all learn.
look, you're an outside. You're an outside agent right now. You have every right to do this. It's like, because for me, if I call for a vote, it's an internal matter. All right. It's like, you're not part of
Well-
us, and you're getting involved in this, so you're not part. Hey, it's like, just go ahead. Give us options. It's like,
okay, I appreciate that. In the future, I will let you take care of that. Understand? Proper
no,
conduct?
sure.
Alright. Awesome. So, Ingrid, you said you are for this.
For either option.
Okay, you're for either option.
I'm a pretty
Is that
good
so?
swimmer, and I can teleport away. So I could take one
Okay.
person with me if we get into trouble.
Alright.
What if they get separated from you?
I can take one person with me if I'm within 30 feet of them and we get into trouble.
But,
All right.
Right. It's like, here.
Okay. It seems like, just from the people saying yes or no, okay, so it seems we're at a neutral stance. Mostly.
Sure.
Sure. we can either go down there and try to attempt this to ourselves. I think our best bet, and I hate saying this, we should head to New Prav. We should go to the Liev column, and we should just inform the proper authorities and have
Azorius?
them deal with it.
You're gonna tell me
Let's deal with
Azorius?
Azorius.
About
Let's
this
deal with Azorius.
we're on the fair you used to work at?
I have a point that I want to get. Originally, I know you weren't there for this first, so I was filling you in. Our objection to telling the guilds was because there were research materials there that we didn't want falling into the wrong hands. Those have fallen into the wrong hands.
Okay, then we're at
That's
the point
not a
where
possibility anymore. That's kind of off the table because all that's left is just a bunch of rotting things. Like notes and stuff are probably not able to. Are gone. We already cleaned out all of that. The subjects are gone. All that's left is just some machinery of any purpose. So I think that at this point, getting the guild involved would not have the dangers that it would have when we did our initial.
That was a very
Just-
roundabout way of saying
Slowly.
he's for it.
We walk back to base and put this equipment away while we're discussing it?
Yeah,
sure,
you
that
absolutely
sounds like
can.
a plan. Let's go bring that.
Tries everyone off real quick.
Let's do that, yes.
I think that
Like,
heading to New Prav would be our best bet. They have the best equipment, not to necessarily deal with this, but to spread information and to shut down anyone from coming in here, to set up patrols, set up any sort of proper protection from this area, anything from coming out or entering. Then they can inform the respective guilds, is it work on proper maintenance? They can inform the Celestia because they will be building the garden here. They can inform just the proper people. I don't think we're the proper people to be in hold of this information.
Can we
I
just
don't
tell the
know.
owners, the ones that won't put us in a big circle of truth and ask us a lot of questions? Selesnya would be great to tell.
I was thinking we could.
well,
if
it's
we
not
inform
Selesnya's yet.
Selesnya.
It is technical.
No,
Dude,
not
okay.
for some time yet. It's like
Do we have a
they're buying in, yes, but it's not theirs to mess with yet. But otherwise, they would have been here already and started doing stuff.
do we have a contact that we could use to just give an anonymous tip? Like maybe somebody in law enforcement that said, hey, we just
I
had
mean-
somebody that said that some crap was going down over here. Can we send some people to look at it?
I mean, we have Cathal.
Clarify the Selesnya bought it like 7 days ago, and we have 13 days or so until they start maintenance on it. Then another week till opening ceremony. But technically, your guild owns it.
Look, we can talk to Cathal about giving out an anonymous tip. It's like,
Of
she's the
maybe
one with
we
a lot
could
of the
reach out
contacts.
to-
It's like, unfortunately,
Maybe we could reach out to Selesnya and see if they're willing to pay to have it cleared out.
Of the Azorius that you know Sebin and Seven Duelis, as well as Chamoridin.
And we know the negotiator guy we're going to escort if we're just listing it.
Yeah,
Grid doesn't know the one that Grigum knows, though. The twin.
look,
Also, just want to make sure that it's pointed out this is not an official, like, sanctioned Simic laboratory. We don't know about this. So.
We thought it was.
Oh yeah,
Look,
Ventel.
look. I'm sorry, but Selesnya cannot get involved in this. It's like,
I do not believe the Celestia would be well equipped for it. I do not know much about them,
yeah,
but the
no,
stuff that I
look,
do
look,
know, they
The
would not
thing
handle
is-
this well.
the Selesnya are contemplatives at heart. And sad to say, but they are pretty hands off in general. Like, sure, they won't stand for like abominations in general, but it's not like they train to defeat abominations every waking moment of their life. And it's like this again, they pretty much are.
Yeah. To
this isn't their
clarify,
thing. Like,
clarify, my position is to let the higher ups of Ravnica to do that, because yes, the Selesnya themselves aren't, but people are militaristic and deal with this sort of thing, and I feel like this is beyond what we can do. I think Karal is probably going to, I'm assuming this is her responsibility. I think that she's going to evade capture yet again, but they are better equipped at least of dismantling and removing the threat that this lab, any threat this lab continues to pose.
Yeah, I've
What
revived.
about your boss, Faradir?
I could do that.
Because they
but
can
once
swim
again-
and handle underwater really well.
Once again, I feel like this is probably a little bit of a higher up of having like a militaristic group go in, along with like Corps of Engineers type people dismantle it. I don't know if this is a one guild thing.
Ingrid puts the lab
That's my
equipment
two
away.
cents. My two zib.
On the other hand, how's it going to reflect on us?
That's why I'm saying we need to make it anonymous. Like it's nothing. It's just there's a lab here.
Even if it's not anonymous, why would it be a problem if I go and report it myself? I do not have much connections with you guys, and I could just go there. I don't know much about why the lab there. Why the lab's like, what's been going on? Just don't tell me anything more. And that way, if they ask me any information, I literally cannot tell them any more information.
There was weird energy readings or something weird with the water flow. You investigated, this popped up.
Okay, yes, but I don't see the problem if I go in there. Just report it normally. Just, okay, there's a lab, it's flooded, there could be possible dangers there. Just informing them to check it out, do everything themselves, and then just be on
he's
with my
not
day.
affiliated. I mean, he isn't.
I'm not affiliated.
Yeah, like
Ingrid,
He's very level-headed. I feel like it would be really cool if he went on some missions with us later.
Ingrid, on the
Agreed.
podium, there is a
On
letter
both.
addressed to you.
Who's it from?
It is addressed from a new Prav with no return address. Or, sorry, it has no name address on it. It's showing only the address of new Prav. It is a thick packet, though.
Okay, definitely time to open letters.
Alright.
Who's opening her letter?
Contained within is a short note, as well as a coin encased in a slim, very durable looking transparent material. The letter reads as such: Dear Miss Ingrid, thank you for your patience. We have returned as requested the ancillary coin. Please do not allow anyone to make physical contact with it, as a number of not fatalities but very close calls were made before it was determined that this coin is not the actual coin that we sought.
Guys, we got our fake coin back.
Something.
Hooray!
Put it in my
really
office
need,
now.
I think we really need to discuss the efficacy of moving to a paper currency of bankers' notes.
I'll go put the equipment away and put this coin in my office for now, since I need to make note of the rubbing, the symbols and stuff on it, and I'll come back for us to talk.
you do that.
The material it's encased in is smooth.
Well, that's why I switched to
Okay.
saying the designs on. Got confused for a minute because I asked him to send like rubbing.
Mhm.
Put stuff away and come back.
Alright.
So, Grigum, as far as the business you have going on here, what is making you so scared of No, I shouldn't. Don't tell me that, just in case. But we'll talk about this later. Actually, that sounds like a better plan.
Sounds like a
Just in
business
case.
lunch later. Like we should have a business lunch later. After we've handled this.
After we've handled this. I don't want to know more information, so please do not tell me anything else. For possibly your safety, maybe.
See, this guy gets it. Like
If-
this
No,
guy.
no, you definitely are a winner. Like we might put you on a payroll at some point. Like,
I wouldn't mind that.
well, that's a discussion for later. Now, what?
I
Yes,
haven't even
later.
seen that
Wanna get-
other girl in a while.
Which
what
other
were you
girl?
trying- Opal?
Yeah, I think I lost her in the mist. Devotion's gonna be super pissed at me.
He
Just
did say thank you for
wonderful.
looking after her, so I think she's
Yes,
fine.
I think she's all right.
I think,
Or as right as anyone
to
can
be
with
fair,
her powers.
artists aren't exactly known for their punctuality.
Also, we just paid her 200 gold, so that kind of sucks.
Anyway, you were saying, Frizz?
She earned it, I would think. She
So-
pulled her weight while she was here.
Currently, I can leave. How long? Out of character, how long would that take to get to New Prague?
New Prav, it'll take you about maybe an hour to get to New Prav using the subtram. It'll take you about 30 minutes to walk to the nearest Azorius chapter house, though.
No, Ferida really wanted to go to New Prav to research himself. He really wanted to go there today.
I did?
Remember, you said you wanted to because of all the debt issues that Rissa brought up with your past life?
I thought that was an Orzhov thing. I thought like that was something that I needed Rail to look at so that I don't have to pay
Yeah, no.
Mention going to New
massive
Prav
amounts
because
of
of
money.
stuff like the building construction and stuff, I thought.
That probably has more to do with the fact that she told him she met him through his father when she was working as a paralegal.
I remember
I mean,
you saying you needed to go, but you don't have written down why.
Actually, I do have a out of character question.
I probably
who-
have to answer that.
How is marriage handled in Ravnica? Is that an Azorius document, or is that really more?
There are a few different traditions. There is the common law marriage of sorts, where you just kind of move in with the person that you like and live there. There is Azorius legal marriage, wherein you and another person bind your estates and legal person. There is the Devkarin and, by extension, the Golgari consort system, wherein you take a consort and hope that no one stabs you or poisons you for them. And then there's the Orzhov church wedding. The Selesnya have their own hand fasting ceremony. Rakdos are not that organized.
I mean,
It just kind of settled. So I guess my question is that for an Orzhov wedding, is that an either or with the Azorius, or is that typically hand in hand?
It's generally a either or, but it can also be a hand in hand. I believe Orissa said that y'all were married in the church because while she is not a member of Azorius, she is a member of the faith.
Oh, we're probably talking about. You know what? What about residence records?
That would probably be stored at the Azorius record house, yes.
There we go. Finally.
Any crimes from your house being destroyed would probably be lodged.
Well, I'm assuming I remember the nameplate, so I think I kept that. So
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
Yeah, in Rona, so obviously that's. So clearly, I would assume that we were habitating together at some point, so that would be one thing to check.
You don't
Um,
normally break someone's ankles over a hookup.
Yeah, but then again, just independent confirmation. I'm not expecting he'd go like full, but just something. Yeah, I think okay. So roundabout way of saying all this. Sorry, Frizz. Do you mind if I accompany you? I'm probably not going to go with you into the actual like building, but
No, not at all.
And do you need me to come along as well?
You do have the writ that would let us look through record, or let Fair Deer have access to the archive room.
honestly, you'd probably be a lot better at sorting through documentation to find what I'm looking for than me. If you don't mind, that'd
Not at all.
be nice. Thank you.
But I do think that one way or another we're probably going to wind up going down into that thing anyhow. The way things tend to go.
I think at the
That's a
very least, we
possibility.
need to be better prepared.
Gregum, do you want to get drunk in a library?
I
I think that's the that needs to come up in discussion. Not.
I think I need to visit home.
Maybe you can tell them about the place just to warn them. Well, you don't mean your guild place. You mean home?
Yeah. It's like home.
I don't know what I should go do. Everyone's going to this.
Could always come along with.
You could go make some more zombies.
You could train the birds.
Spend the afternoon in the Undercity.
You could unleash a spore cloud that causes people to climb up to the tallest building.
No,
You
that,
take out-
I already nixed that plan like 6 months ago.
You could take the Dromids out for exercise.
Could take a couple of the Dromids out for exercise. Borrow your Dromid.
I mean, so
Sure. Animals
We've
need
got-
to be exercised. They shouldn't be just kept in a pen all the time.
we've got quite a few things on our plate, some of which need to be handled as a group. Is
Yeah.
there anything that can be looked at individually is the real question.
Oh, Rail, here's the other half of that clay tablet with the black coin.
Say what?
Thank you.
She created a
remember the
clay
button.
imprinting of the Blackstone
Right.
coin.
Right. I remember.
We're going to need to spend some time on research at some point.
Yeah, I figured, I can go take a Dromid-friendly tram over, to somewhere in the Undercity where I won't be too disturbed. Have a nice lunch or dinner with someone, do some identify on the clay tablet, and I'll just be back by tomorrow.
Actually, Ingrid, if you wouldn't mind doing me a personal favor, we never did find out exactly what happened with those two fungus tribes. Whatever they were
No, we
called. after
didn't.
that.
I bet Rathen has a vested in what happened to them.
You'd know what happened.
I mean, he
Go see Rathen.
No, Ingrid was informed of what happened.
I think mostly one of them took out the other, but there were some left. Mushrooms were left. The molds, Joyce-ish.
Go
Right.
see Rathen. We can't be the only married couple. Just be weird.
Okay, tell Arasa that he owes us a double date if we can get Rathen up.
See what I can do.
We might have to go down to Farkeep.
Okay, so we're splitting the
hey,
party.
Rail?
Oh, go ahead.
Rail, do you want to give him that other, loan him Reeves' communication device? Just so while y'all are in the same town, if, just needs to check in with us? Or is that too weird?
Do we have it, or does Reeve have it?
Reeve is
you
not
got
returned.
two of them.
Y'all got two of them.
Mavana has one, and you still have the other, and Reeve gets back tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, after Reeve exploded, called in not an airstrike, a artillery bombardment on a church. He kind of left the district for a while.
Starting a black metal band.
Right, but like he left.
I'd be down for that.
And it fits because he's Rakdos.
But I'm saying more that he kept his spy's murmur with him.
He
didn't have one.
He didn't have one at the time.
He didn't have one.
You got sent two, and you told us, and you gave one to Mavana, and I said, "Oh, are you giving Reeve the other one?" And he gets back. So I thought you were holding the other one for Reeve. So Ingrid is saying,
correct.
"Have a spare one. Do you want to stay in communication for the
Yes,
day?"
I do think that's a wonderful idea.
All right.
Yes. So here, put this in your ear.
All right.
Yes, put this
fish in your ear.
You receive a spy's murmur.
All right. Yeah, I'll equip it.
So it's got two modes.
This
Okay.
one
You
actually
should tell
is
him. You
fancy.
should tell him,
It
Dale.
has 3 modes. It
Is everybody
camouflages.
Okay.
All right, but I believe it does require attunement, so that'll take
Yes, an
a
hour.
little bit of time and effort.
Yeah, we can have it attuned by the train. Yeah.
You can talk directly to one person you know has it within a mile, or you can transmit to everyone who has one within a mile everything you're hearing.
Oh. Okay then.
Useful little devices.
Hearing
Quite
or
rare,
thinking?
unfortunately.
So if I have it attuned, can I still take it off and then still be attuned to it? Just
Yeah.
making sure.
I mean,
Okay.
you don't. If you attune to a sword, you don't have to keep that sword in your hand the rest of the attunement period.
It depends on the sword.
I mean,
Just saying.
if it,
Cursed sword. Everyone needs a cursed sword.
Oh yeah.
I mean, technically, Ingrid's armor is cursed.
Wow.
Technically. It's but it's one of those, curses are weird, usually. Like, sometimes they end up, over time, or even upon its initial conception, not working the way it's supposed to. I know of a curse where it was supposed to be that anytime someone took money for any deed, they would end up being cursed to be bloodthirsty or whatnot, and then it just over time ended up reversing, where they cannot do a good deed without asking for payment, otherwise they just become a monster.
Huh.
That's
Weird.
But that's out of character though. It's like,
Or
I'm confident this armor's just fine.
yeah.
like sometimes things work in your benefit, or in just a way that wasn't meant to work in the first place.
Or the armor just makes you feel absolutely confident no matter what. And if you're already overconfident, then yeah. Did not see that one coming.
Yeah. Like, in general, if you are confident enough, then your confidence is warranted. You don't have to worry about confidence if you're confident.
I think this is something when Ingrid gives y'all plans, and you're like, "Oh, Ingrid's got a plan." Then I think maybe the armor's influence is not being factored into this always.
Okay.
Well, hey, I hire you guys for ideas.
So, to confirm, Ingrid is going out on a date. Faradir, and Rail are going to New Prav, or to the nearest police station. And Grigum is going home, right?
I'm also casting a lot of Identify while I'm waiting for him to be off work, theoretically.
Okay. I am going to roll a 1d6. Let's see here. So that is the big group. Fairdeer, Ferald, and Rail.
Yes.
Are y'all going to New Prav itself, or are y'all just going to the nearest police station?
I believe we need to go to New Prav.
Yeah.
All right. It is much quicker getting a not district, inter precinct tram when you have an ISIT member with you, apparently, as opposed to waiting 15 to 20 minutes. It's only like a 10-minute wait before the shuttle arrives. It's still a bit of a wait on the actual ride, just because, like, the city is huge. But
Quite.
roughly 40 minutes later, you arrive in the transit hub in the 2nd Precinct. Much the same as all the other transit hubs look like. There is a book goblin pushing their cart around. If you meet food vendors just selling wares, and the is it ticket taker waves y'all on through without bothering y'all about the ticket when Farald shows him his emblem. Y'all have arrived in New Prav. In the 2nd Precinct, New Prav towers high above y'all. The largest structure visible at your range. Sorry, the closest large structure visible from where y'all emerge. Wow, I am Englishing so horrible today.
No worries.
It's 3 spires connected by bridges that span back and forth across each one of them. The entire area is just massively busy with people in blue and silver robes coming and going. Aerial beasts soar low over the ground, keeping an eye on the crowds in general. There are Azorius law mages posted at almost every street corner.
Alright. I'm attuned to my thing, right?
It'll be about like another 15 minutes, but you're almost there, yeah.
Alright, just checking. Once I get attuned, I'm going to put it in my pocket.
Alright, no problem. They'll just kind of chill
Later.
for 15 minutes or so while the attunement finishes.
Rail is going to buy a book.
What kind of book are you looking to buy?
Historical fiction.
Let's see here now. Book goblins mostly have penny novels and stuff like that. Give me 1 second to roll on my table. Okay. You have an option of a tale set at the dawn of the Guild Pack, featuring a one of the first Azorius and their affairs with and adventures with the establishment of the other guilds. It's kind of like almost a pulp history of sorts. It'll run you 5 silver.
Was there another option, or is that the only thing they have in that genre?
In that genre, that's the only thing they got.
Well, it's better than nothing.
Alright.
How much does that run me?
5 silver.
5 silver.
It's just a maybe 10 short stories, about 3 pages long each.
Oh god, it's not like guild propaganda, is it? Like,
You'll have to read it and find out.
Yes. Oh well, still better than nothing.
Alright. So, books are purchased, attunements are made. Kay is given scritches, I assume.
Oh, right.
And Minestia just kind of quietly stands off to the side, keeping an eye on the crowd.
Who does?
Oh, not Amnestria, sorry, Mavana.
Ivana. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in a.
I have the
I'm great.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I have the exact address of the lab, right?
The exact address is the middle of Pearl Plaza Park, 600 feet below the ground.
Formerly
just making sure, like-
Tree.
Okay, just making sure I have like the where it's at. Like I have the general knowledge. I would like to take out my parchment and a pen and just find somewhere to write this at. Essentially just write down all of the general information and what I know, how it's flooded, how there may be possible things roaming around in there, and just the synopsis of what I have.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to have that folded up with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It takes like maybe 5 minutes to write down as much of what you remember and understand from that.
Obviously, not including any of the other second side agency members in there, any of the just what possibly could have went down. Just there's a lab, it's flooded.
Yeah.
Monsters.
Not writing the word kraken or dragon or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. You now have a little synopsis of what is going on.
Piece of paper from mine. So yeah, I think it's best if I head off about now. Let's meet back here. What time is it now?
It's about 1 o'clock.
Alright. Let's try to meet back here around 7 or 8. I may be held up just a little bit. You know how processes can go. I had to ferret in everyone else who's here.
Sure. You have the thing. Why don't we just message each other when?
Well, yes, I do not want to have it on currently, just in case.
Okay.
But once I do get finished, I will just let out a little message to let everyone know.
Cool.
So yeah.
Take care of yourself, Riz. It's a dangerous city, and I don't think it's that much safer here, despite the veneer.
That is true. And you be careful too.
Will do. Thank you.
Okay.
Really do
thank you.
appreciate it.
So the party further
Of course.
subdivides.
They always plan to.
Yes. Alright, well,
Alright, let's split up, gang.
okay.
Pity the poor GM.
Let's see here now. Ingrid! You have a Dromid.
Yeah, but she's going to go the fastest route, which is to get one of the drama compatible train rides.
Okay. That's no problem,
Then-
considering you have Cathal who can order one of those for you.
And then just ride down from the station.
Alright. It still takes you more time than it would take them to get to Prav. It's about 2 o'clock by the time you would arrive even close to Farkeep.
Okay.
But it's you arrive. The city remains much as it was before. The gates are semi-closed due to the time of day, but you have visited often enough that the guards recognize you and wave you through the opening that they do have.
I wave at the ones I recognize and head to see if I can keep my dromids at the stall at the market and say hi to the dromid guy.
He has a open space for you, considering you've been visiting regularly. Unfortunately, he is not there today.
Put them in the open space, and I leave a silver under the door with a note.
Okay.
I go to let Rithan know I'm in town.
Alright. You know the best place to find Rathin is at the barracks if there is no emergency going on and if he is not at the, doing something at the behest of Lady Farkeeper. So is that where you're checking for him, or are you going to check for him
Yeah,
somewhere
that's
else?
always the first place to check.
Okay. The barracks is much the same as it was before. 2 rows of beds on either side, a desk at the far end. You actually see a human kind of half covered and catching a quick nap on one of the beds. Behind the desk is Rathin, his hair wild and starting to look like it's ready to need a bit of a trim. His almond eyes look up at you as you enter, and he's like, "Oh, Miss Ingrid, I was not expecting to see you this early. Normally it's a couple days before you can get down here. Are you okay?"
It's actually a while, but yeah, I figured I'd see if you're free for dinner. I've got something I've got to do some identifying on, so I figure, nice quiet day doing some spell work and maybe get some dinner and have a chat later.
Most certainly. At the old water fountain, or did you want to go somewhere else?
It's a bit out of the way on town, but that would work fine if you're up for a Dromed ride. I brought a spare.
I need to get more practice with them anyway. That sounds good.
I mean, otherwise it's quite a long walk.
But it would be an enjoyable walk with you. Give me, say, another 3 hours to finish this? Is that too much of an imposition for you?
Oh, no, that's good. I really actually do have some spell work I have to be doing.
I look forward to seeing you again, Miss Ingrid.
Well, I'll probably do the spell work over at the inn, and then I'll come back and meet you here.
Alright, I will be here.
And Ingrid's gonna head over to the inn to sit around and cast Identify and say hi to Leslie.
Leslie kind of smiles, nods. Her tressum flies over and kind of half kneads at your leg and then claws at the chair you're sitting in a bit before settling down next to you. Alright, what are you casting Identify on?
The tablet with the coin half, because she wants to focus first on she can figure out what material is through the imprint and also the theme of the coin.
Okay.
If she just finds regular properties, that's fine too.
Go ahead and make a D100 roll for me.
Okay. 97.
97. The coin feels incomplete. There is the tree icon on one side gives an impression of growth and nature. The other side is blank. Almost like it is waiting to find some meaning to take for itself or be given a meaning. The composition of the materials is it's no black gemstone that you've ever encountered before in a treasure pile or a jeweler's kit or anything like that. You have some training with jewelry, so you do know how to recognize like black diamonds, black opals, and the like. This feels when it is a gemstone in appearance only. The physical impression of it is more metallic, despite its crystalline nature. There is something of order and chaos mixed within it.
Does it feel like necklace that Leia uses at all?
It is less a one-to-one and more of it. This feels like it had a similar basis, but the two had a divergent path at some point. Like, something has been done to the necklace and something has been done to the coin, and both of those actions transformed the base material from what it was to what it is now.
And I figure if she's got about hours, but she's taking notes in between and stuff, she can get in like 8 more identifies. That sound about right?
Okay, I'm going to assume a standard spread for this because I'm not going to make you roll a D100, okay?
Okay.
So, beyond the generic information that you learned about its nature and its construction, you learned that anyone who is attuned to it is blinded if they are more than 10 feet away from it. That any non-magical flames within 30 feet of the person who is attuned to the coin are extinguished. Whoever is attuned to the coin has disadvantage on saving throws against poison. While you're attuned to the artifact, you have vulnerability to all damage. And there is a dark spirit within that resides within it, but it seems to be slumbering. Like, it's not so much an intelligence as it is a spiritual force. That's the first 5, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yep.
5. Yep, okay. Let's...
Any flames extinguished was, any non-magical was, whether you're away from the coin or not, right?
Yes. Let's see here now. Where... And then those are the general... So, okay, there it is. And these last 3 I will roll on because they are actually... Yeah. Stop that. I will roll... Well, actually, do you want to roll, or do you want me to roll?
I'll roll them.
Okay. Make your first D100 roll.
39.
39? While attuned to the artifact, you cannot be charmed or frightened. Make your next one.
That was a 97 again.
97? The artifact makes you tougher. It'll effectively, mechanically, it adds a +1 to your AC.
It's vulnerability to all damage. That's at least it does that.
Well, keep in
And
mind you're
87.
87. Let's see here now.
Mind what?
I was going to say, keep in mind, you already know that the more coins you're attuned to, the fewer the detrimental effects affect you. Sorry, I got distracted. What was the number again?
87.
97. Scrolling. My PC is still acting slow on everything. Let's see here. It allows you, as an action, to cast Regenerate. After you cast that spell, you roll a 1d6. On a 1 to 5, you cannot cast that spell again for 24 hours.
And does that have to be self or any target?
Let me check the exact phrasing. Touch a creature. So it's itself or anyone that you can touch.
Okay. So that's pretty much have some dinner, chats with people.
Okay.
And it keeps an eye out for if she sees his daughter, but she's not like planning on necessarily going over unless there's a high opportunity or something.
Okay. Let's see now. Then, Griggum, you said you're going home.
Yeah. I was
Anyone particular that you're looking to visit?
like home. Like first and foremost, it's going to be progressively like, hey, I'm back among guildless, back among the
Yeah.
like where most goblins live, and back home.
Yeah, you're heading to the northern edge of the 4th precinct. You can tell that you're starting to get close to the Red Waste area again. A lot of the buildings are broken in or are missing windows or have suffered some sort of damage. They're not as nice. Even if they have been recently rebuilt, the construction has been quick and shoddy and cheap. You do see a growing number of guildless population, many of whom are just kind of loitering around during the day as opposed to working on anything. The 2-story house that you recognize as your home is kind of rebuilt. It only had partial damage, it looks like. The south-facing wall has had to have been replaced, it looks like, but the rest of it looks much the same. As you approach one of the goblins that has been kind of just loitering around the areas, what you want?
That's a very good question. I guess nowadays I'm just feeling a little lost.
Huh. Well, okay. You looking for someone?
For now, I'm looking for family.
Oh, well, family, brother. He kind of like settles down onto one of the porches and just kind of watches the other people walking around the street.
Yeah, you're right. Here, and I just reach into my stuff and pull out one of the spare bottles of wine I have like among me and just hand it to him. Like, don't drink it all in one place.
He gives a crooked tooth grin, bites like the cap off of it, spits and like raises it, toasts you. Hey, all right, thank you.
And if you can, share it. Like,
Of
it's
course.
not there.
You want first?
No, I was like, no, I think I've had enough.
Alright, well, he kind of like takes a sip and leans back against the stoop.
I guess I just keep on going.
Alright, are you going inside or you're just going to walk?
Yeah. I'm gonna go inside.
Alright. The inside is, it's changed. That's not too much of a surprise considering how much everything has changed after the incursion. One of the walls between the entryway and the kitchen is gone entirely. There's just an open space there. Within the kitchen, like 3 goblins kind of work at the stove and cutting boards and stuff. One of them looks up and like smiles, waves at you. She's a little bit taller than you, heavier set, much older. This is the woman that would have been known as, where is her name? Mama Ket. She kind of whips, like, smiles a little, wipes her hands off, pats one of the others, and, like, walks over to you. Well, ain't seen you in a while. Come on in, come on in.
And he just bows and walks in.
She laughs. She puts an arm around you and gives you, like, a hug up against her. It's like, ain't no need to be formal with that, boys. Come on. Ain't look like you had anything to eat in 3 days. Sit.
Yeah, I probably haven't.
She goes off and to the cold box and starts digging around. She pulls out a few vegetables that look like they've been chilling. She, like, goes over and starts cutting them up. So looks over. So, good to see you back in the neighborhood. You doing okay?
Yet another good question today. Like, I don't know. Like,
You know what they say, a good question deserves a good answer.
that it does. It's like, but will you get one? Like, that's always a bigger question.
Well, you know, I always said, don't ask a question if you don't want an answer. And she kind of comes back over and sets on the table, like, just a collection of diced and vegetables, some dipping sauces, a few slices of meat, some bread, some cheese, and so. It's a little past lunch, so we'll also keep you till dinner at least.
Yeah, that would be nice. Like, I've seen so much since I left. Like, done so many things. And yet, I don't know. I think I forgot why I left in the first place.
Sometimes we have to start a journey over to finish it. And she kind of picks up a carrot, crunches on it, and is like, ain't nothing wrong with going back to the start to get to the end.
I'll admit, like, before leaving, I always thought these things that you said were just absolute nonsense. Like, but in a weird way, they are, like, and yet it makes so much sense now.
Honey. The meaning is what we give to the things. They don't have their own meaning. All that time among the sleds, and spend one day back home. Everything just makes so much more sense. Oh, well, honey, you know, you ain't never always alone. You always have to carry your family in your shadow. Because they got your back.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if I actually have yours. If I actually have anyone's.
It's okay if you haven't been tested yet. You see, you don't know what you got until you've been tested. And you don't know what you can do until you have to do it. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Lots of people go through their days without having been tested once. Some say they're the lucky ones, I say they ain't.
A knight in shining armor, like, has never had their metal truly tested.
That's right, boy. You gotta get out there, get your hands dirty. Have to make things real.
Hmm. How has everything been since I was gone?
Oh, it's a day and a day. I mean, we get up, we have breakfast, we do what we can, and then we have call it a night. The sun sets, the sun rises. We're okay. People come, people go, but Mama Cat's always been here. Got a whole new pack of little ones up there, upstairs on the second floor, all wet bottomed and chewing their way through the doors.
Hmm. I wonder what they'll do with their lives.
Hopefully, something that makes them happy.
Boy, like, certainly a lot better than what I've done. Like, all this to make something better out of me, out of, I guess, all of us, and yet here I am, the most unhappy goblin probably could ever meet.
Well, boy, let me tell you, perfection is not a place to go. It is a path to walk. And you're doing your best to walk that path. I'm proud of you for it. Yeah, you may slip up every now and then. But, as long as you get back up on that path, you're doing better than the people that don't.
True. Sometimes I wonder, was the path even necessary in the first place?
Sometimes it's nice just to take a walk.
And with that sentence alone, like, Grigom's, like things in Grigom's heads just start spinning, and it's like, yeah, sometimes it is nice just to go on a walk.
Path is always going to be the path you're on. What it means is what you make it mean. So, if you make it mean something important, it's something important. If you make it mean something fun, it's something fun. Me? Take care of a bunch of wet-bottomed assholes and a couple ungrateful kids who come around once every 2 years. And she smiles and reaches over and slaps you on the shoulder. It's like, but it's good to see you again. We're all damn proud of you.
I'm sorry for not visiting more often.
Hey, it's okay. I give you a hard time, but that's just because it's fun to give you a hard time.
Yeah, to my shame, I never thought that I needed to come back, that I never wanted to come back. That I was ashamed of this place.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh, honey. She reaches over and pats you on the shoulder. So, there's nothing wrong with wanting better. Nothing wrong with wanting better for yourself and for the people you care about.
Grigum starts to dig in a little with the food that's in front of him. And it's pretty much at this moment that he actually feels whole for the first time in a long time. That he feels at home. He feels at peace. Like, all the contemplation he spent, like, among this list, all the efforts and meditations and all the work he's done among the second side agency, just, no. Compared to all that, this felt right. It felt good. It felt normal. after he finishes eating, he's like, I guess I should get going. Like,
If you want, you can sleep it off upstairs if you want. You know, Mom Cat's always going to be here for you one way or the other, okay, honey?
so quick out of character thing. He's like, how long is everyone else going to be taking with their stuff?
Ingrid
Is
is
it going to be like, are they spending a day elsewhere, or like?
Ingrid is probably going to be gone at least until maybe 8 or 9.
Might be a morning thing because the gate guards are kind of weird about night travel.
Yeah. Frald probably won't take more than 7 hours at most. Not sure on Rail and Fairdeer yet.
To be honest, like sort of my
Hopefully.
plans weren't necessarily anything like super involved with the group. My character. So, like, if you want to spend the day doing that, I don't think that would really mess up anything I had.
Yeah, like I just wanted to make sure before I just jumped in and said, "Yeah, sure, I'll stay." And I was like,
Oh, that's cool.
"Yeah,
I figured evening or morning, either one works, since
yeah,
you're gonna want a long rest either way.
yeah, yeah." I think I'll take her up on that. Like, yeah, I'll stay.
She nods like, alright, we got a bed in the back for you. Don't go upstairs. Those little ankle biters will chew right through your leg. And now if you get bored and you go looking for a scrap, I'm fairly sure that Mean Street out there's got plenty of people there that could use a lesson or two.
You know, I might think about that. And I pretty much go and start setting a space for myself for the night.
The back room is maybe a 15 by 15, pushing maybe an 18 by 19. It's a little hard to tell the exact just because it has 4 beds in it, with a dresser next to each bed and a foot locker at the foot of each one, and just like a rug in the center. One of the beds has a goblin sprawled out on. He's like just bare-chested, snoring very loudly.
Yeah, guess I'll make it again. Like, make a space for myself. Set some of my stuff down next to a bed. Like,
All right.
like, meditate for a little bit before maybe going out and wandering around the streets.
Okay. Rail, Fairdeer. Takes all
Yep.
about 1 to arrive in Precinct 2. After a little bit of preparation, Frald heads off to do his mission. What are y'all up to?
So, Fairdeer, I believe I was here to help you out.
Yeah, I think the first thing is to look for the, like, I don't know if it would be like a census report, if that, like, exists. From children, in Rona and, Rissa and Rona.
Okay. Your best bet is probably going to be the records office. For something like that. Now, Rail does have a writ that says basically y'all are investigating a series of murders and homicides in pursuit of a serial killer, which y'all have used previously to get access to the archives. Are y'all going to go that route, or are y'all going another route?
I think that sounds like the smartest plan to me.
All right.
Question: Where were the murder scenes again? Sorry.
I think they're taking place all over.
Most of the confirmed kills were in the 4th precinct. There were a number of murders that were reported in the 2nd, but those are odd because there's no body that has been turned over to the Golgari, as well as there's a number of discrepancies on the paperwork, such as the chapter captain that would have had to sign off on them never signed off on the investigation's closing.
Do we happen to have some of those names or no?
Like, y'all have a few of them, yes. Y'all don't know the full breadth of it.
Yeah, why don't we mix a little business with pleasure in this? I want to use the writ, but I figure if we are going to use the writ, let's actually do some actual work with that.
Okay, so y'all
as
go
well.
into the tower. There is a guard at the entryway, but showing him the writ, he nods and waves y'all through. The archives that y'all have used previously were about halfway up, and there's no functional elevator in this due to regulations, so y'all end up making me an athletics roll as y'all climb 10 stories.
You mean climb? Skitter.
Same difference. Well, actually, no,
Oh,
you have a
shoot.
climbing speed. You don't need to make me a...
Son of a bitch! I still have exhaustion.
Yeah.
You need me to carry you.
Level 1 disadvantage on the check.
Yep.
So you're saying you'll be assisting Fairdeer and not the other way around?
Well, doing the best I can.
Fair
You need
Deer,
me to help.
Do we need to
Rail?
make separate checks?
Fair Deer doesn't have to make a check. He has a climb speed.
Can Faraday assist me?
I'm
I
not gonna
have a
say
cane.
No. You're just super tired. Like, you just want to go to bed.
Yeah. Alright, fine. Athletics check with disadvantage. How does a 5 do?
You're kind of... It takes about maybe 30 minutes to get up to that floor, but you'll make it.
You know, it wouldn't have even been better if I'd had advantage. My rolls were 5 and 6.
Eventually, y'all do make it to the archives. Inside the main area where you were doing research before, there is the semicircular help desk with the elderly, pale-skinned, white-haired lady behind it. She looks at you over spectacles and says, "Hello?"
Hello.
How can I help you?
Right. Rail is just all sweaty, hair askew, hat askew. Right. Have you all thought of investing in, I don't know, a rope lift or something?
No, we don't have anything on that, I don't think. I can go and check. That's really more of
No.
an is it thing.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
She looks at you and she goes, "I do this 3 times a day, you wuss."
Yeah.
No. She looks at you and she sees Faradir.
All right.
She doesn't leave this place.
Right. So, we wanted to. We wanted to look for information relevant to a case we are investigating about a marriage. I think it was, yes, Faraday, your marriage, or
Yes, in resident.
and residency, yes, because we're trying to figure out what factors might lead to somebody being targeted by this killer we are after. So we need to do a bit of historical research.
Alright, but we don't have too many of the books that are, funny, so give me a minute and I'll, And she kind of
Funny.
gets off and just kind of totters off in the other. She's like 3'2".
She hear hysterical reference.
She's just like hunched over like she's walking on her cane. Like it's a third leg as she just disappears into the stacks.
Oh dear.
You okay?
I think he wasn't with us last time we had to deal with this.
I'll be fine. Just give me a minute. Phew.
After about 30 minutes, she comes back walking with with the cane in one hand and like 3 books clutched to her chest with the other. So, all right, well, they're not going to be very humorous, but... And she like just drops them on the table.
Humorous? Why are you...
Okay, so here's marriage records for the past 128 years. And she kind of turns around and starts... For this precinct. And she walks a few more feet and is like, that were acknowledged by the Azoria Senate. And she sits back down in her chair.
Alright, do you know anything about the circumstances of your marriage? Farrier? Try to ask.
Apparently it was an Orzhov tradition. Oh.
Alright, that should help us narrow it down a little bit.
Tell me a little bit about the Orzhov. Like, is it cool to drink alcohol?
As long as you pay for it.
Okay. Like, you mean like a syntax, or the alcohol can't be stolen?
Less of a syntax, more of a sin charge, as it were. Indulgences.
So it's not gonna go over.
So make an investigation roll for me.
Disadvantage.
So
hang on. Investigation. Blah, blah, blah. Disadvantage. Yay. Oh, yay. 8.
Okay. Faraday, are you doing any
Please.
reading?
I'm going to look at, I have a small list of names.
Okay. So
I'm gonna...
Go ahead.
Basically, I want not just my name, but any of the relevant ones, because I'm assuming it's like 5 or less, not like...
5. Pretty much it's like 5 or 6 deaths that were reported in Precinct 2. Rel, you spent about an hour and a half reading basically X married Y at this location at this date is overseen by Z in accordance with, and then either the Azoria Senate or Orzhov or some other number. And after about an hour and a half of reading through these, you notice that every single one of these is listing a location in the 2nd precinct.
Right. I don't technically know where I was married.
You found
a little more.
Yeah. You found your placard in the 4th precinct.
Yeah, but people move around. But really and truly, I'm more emphasis mainly on the other names. It was kind of a needle in a haystack for me, but...
what was your roll?
1 second. This is investigation, correct?
Yes.
It would be a 10.
None of these names are matching up.
Alright.
Yeah.
Are you actually searching the 4th precinct confirmed pieces? Or were you searching the Unconfirmed. Second. The unconfirmed cases. Okay.
Then okay, so maybe we should look at marriages in the 4th district. And possibly residencies in the 4th district. Actually, I guess in-game question. Will they have records of the 4th district?
The
Is
4th
this-
district? Yes.
Okay.
It's mostly a mining town.
Right. It's not the district we live in. We live in the 6th.
Precinct.
Okay.
Not district.
Do they have records of the precinct that we live in? I can't remember because I'm a dumbass right now.
Yes, they have records from the 4th precinct.
Precinct. Okay. I want to check the marriage records and the residency records of the 4th precinct.
Alright, I can get you that. And she kind of like leans and hops off of the bar, the stool again, and starts like tapping her way down into the stacks.
So, like, what other kinds of things do you have to pay a indulgence fee or whatever?
You're asking the wrong question. It would be simple to ask, what don't you? Remember, this is the Orzhov we're talking about. And yeah, GM, please.
Kind of clears her throat. It's like, every obligation must be met.
Exactly.
Oh, right, Nirvana, you may actually be. So, say I were, well, you know, my wife wears off affiliations
Congratulations.
and memory. Thank you. Wait. Okay, really, really random. You don't know Brasa, like, previously, right?
No.
Okay. I figured, but, you know.
I was mostly confined to the Chantry until I became of age. Most of my family and the other orphans were.
For somebody raised Orzhov, what is the traditional courting procedure as to what is typical?
You pay the priest, he declares you married, and then you mingle your property.
Like dating, courting, like...
You pay the priest,
Oh.
and he declares you married, and then you mingle your property.
No, Mivana. He's talking about before the wedding.
She shrugs.
I mean,
You
that's...
get together and coffee, like, is wine a thing and not a thing?
I mean, so that depends on
really
who
wouldn't
holds your
know.
debts.
Here you go, and the 3 books just thump down on the table.
Oh, thank God. Right, so this is Orzhov. I don't suppose there's any information on who presided over this.
There could be. Make an investigation.
I thought it was. He said it was...
I mean, more like, does Faradir have any information over who presided over his wedding?
Oh.
Like, that was asking in question. In character, rather.
Wouldn't be Aesop directly, right? It's a priest, not like the head of...
Yeah. Probably
Yeah.
not like a semi-divine being, no.
I figured. No idea. Yeah, just look Eldrin.
We'll have to look it up then. Let's see. So investigation roll.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a disadvantage.
Why don't we just say I'm helping so that it evens out?
Okay, so
Okay.
make a straight roll then. Faradir, you can't roll investigation on this.
Alright. Straight roll. Oh my god. 10.
10. On
I'm
this
not rolling
date,
well today.
one Elgin in Rona to be wed to one Aressa in Rona, with the approval of Asaf the Bright Soul, overseen by High Priest Varenth, to reside within the Orzhov district of the 4th Precinct.
Does it give a date?
It gives a date of 6 years ago.
Well, that's
Isn't
something.
that kind of high
High what?
ranking? Is that unusual?
Was with the
Or-
approval of Asaf the Bright Soul.
Okay.
It doesn't say who actually presided over it?
I believe
Priest Vareth?
Vareth, yes.
Oh.
All that it means is that the bribes were paid to the appropriate people.
Vibes.
Well, we have a date. We have a location. And we have... how do you spell the one who presided over it?
Varith.
Yereth? It was?
I don't suppose that's somebody that you on a rail.
Is that somebody that I know of?
Make a history roll with disadvantage.
Dang it. Alright.
Double disadvantage.
Hey, 11.
11.
That one really hurt. My first roll was an 18.
Never heard of him before.
Can't say that I'm familiar with the name. Sorry, Faradir. This is just not a good day.
I rolled a history because I swear I've heard that name before out of character, but I could be just mistaken or...
Okay. Go ahead and make a history roll.
18.
18. Let's see here now. You may be thinking of Jornan Varoth, your boss.
Is it the same? Ellen?
No. Varoth is spelled Varath. Vareth is Viarth.
That wouldn't be under like the normal associated spelling of last name. That's right.
No, I don't believe so. You cut out like every other word there, so I'm not 100% sure what you were asking me, but I'm going to go with no, I don't think so.
Unless he was the priest from the dinner party that came up and gave you the blessing, you probably didn't.
All of Asaf's people got cleared out. And
Seems like
when
a
Circe
surprise.
came in and took over.
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And with that,
So
we're
she's
going to take a
not-
break.
Everyone back by 1:30?
Alright. I
I'm
want to
fine
make
with that.
myself some coffee.
I'm going to
Alright.
stare blankly at the screen and try and make up what happens next.
Alright,
No,
I
I'm
thought we
gonna
were going into the frickin' sewers today.
I'm so glad y'all didn't.
Yeah.
Too. Want me to bring you a soda?
Yes,
I felt that
please.
in character and out of character, I needed this Griggum moment, really.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It was pretty sweet.
But hey,
Yeah.
we finally got Mama Heket.
Yeah.
Mama Ket, sorry.
Monica, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Another character I've been seeing on for a while. I was getting pissed because I couldn't find her name. It's like, a year later, it's like, oh my god, finally comes up and... Okay. But yeah, no. Back here, 15, 14 something minutes. Hey guys, thank y'all for watching. We're going on break. Hope y'all been enjoying. We are going to be running a few commercials. They help support the stream. Please bear with us. Bye!
All right.
You have to recognize the fact that we are quickly heading toward a dystopian overworld where, you know, a cereal that is all marshmallows is probably going to be our new normal.
Yeesh. No, thank you.
Also, I took us back live while I was saying that. Hi,
completely
we're
fair.
back.
So, chat, do you have any strong opinions on all marshmallow cereal? If so, please put them in the chat right now.
I mean, think of it like this. In Shadowrun, they have soy cereal that has nanites in it that clean and strengthen your teeth.
I mean, that doesn't sound bad at all.
That's fair.
Question is how it tastes.
Yeah,
However
mean-
you want. That's what Simmons
Oh.
is for.
Well, cool.
I mean, I could go for that.
So anyway, hey, yeah, we're back. Thank you
You
for
might on Fridays.
sticking with us during that break. I'm talking in short bursts now.
Sounds good.
We back.
Okay,
Time to get some stuff done.
so let's see. I believe last we left off, Faradir was asking Rail questions that was making Rail uncomfortable, who in then turn was asking Mavana questions that was making her uncomfortable, while a octogenarian basically watched y'all, unable to really hear or understand what y'all are asking or saying. D&D!
Yeah, she's
That's
trying her best.
here. This is definitely Tuesday.
She is doing her best. That's the best I can say about her.
Alright.
Do you need me to help you down the stairs?
Let's just say she might want to invest in like a greater restoration or something for her hearing. Something.
Alright, so... to the die of randomness, who do we pick up with? Actually, you know what? I can do this with a D4. Since y'all have split yourselves
we
into
just-
4 groups.
Haven't done much with Frizz yet.
Yeah, I was about to say, oh hey, look at who came up.
Is it Frizz? It's Frizz.
Probably not.
No, it's Ingrid, but we're going to do Frizz.
I mean, it's fine. Like, whatever the dice say. I mean, I can go.
Don't make...
I don't want to disrespect the gods of chaos.
Okay, so your plan with the note.
Yeah, I want to head over to the Leah building.
Okay.
And I have the note essentially there, just so I can give my like formal declaration, and then have the note there, so they also just have that on record.
As this is less a records and more of a there are actual people who work here, you are stopped at the gate, at the doorway, by a pair of guards in silver armor with blue epaulets. How can we help you?
This is the proper place to report a disturbance among the city, correct?
Correct. Is the disturbance active currently?
I mean, you could say that. Just a flooded laboratory with weird creatures that could be lurking in there.
They see that you are Is It, and hear what you say, and it's weird because you've never seen someone immediately relax at the same time that they kind of look worried.
It'll be fine.
So they kind of move to the side and gesture towards the doorway.
Thank you. And I'll head off.
Inside is a fairly large circular room with a number of desks and people behind them, with a centralized waiting area and a semicircular desk with a kind of... it's a little hard to tell how old they are because Luxdon are naturally kind of wrinkled. But he's wearing a pair of like oversized glasses. I mean, for him they would be regular size, but for you they would be a bit larger than would be comfortable. He leans towards it. Yes, how may I help you?
Where can I report a flood in part of the city?
Is it handle the waterways?
Yes, but I would like to just have this knowledge known between several other guilds. There are people who maybe own the building or the thing before I go and get a team and we can go clear that out.
I see.
That way there's no accidental casualties or anything.
So you're saying that there has been no casualties yet?
I am not entirely sure. All I know is this laboratory is flooded and that there may be unidentifiable creatures that could be in the liquid and the submerged under there.
Do you know the guild affiliation of these unidentifiable creatures?
They possibly could be Simic, though I do not believe they are affiliated in any way with any guild.
I see.
I hypothesize they could be Simic of some sort. Or they might be leading upwards from the Golgari. I do know the lab leads down for quite a bit. It could be a lot of things.
I see. So you are reporting a zoning infraction, then?
I'm reporting a safety hazard.
He stamps a piece of paper and hands it to you. 3rd floor.
Thank you. And I'll head off.
As you go up the stairs, these are fairly wide stairs, so you can go up and there are people going up and down, like past you. The inner side wall typically has 2 or 3 doors that branch off in either direction. On the 3rd floor is a singular door. A bronze plaque is mounted on it, which says zoning regulations.
Alright, well, I'll head in.
And inside, a kind of... board is a weird word to attribute to Videlkins, as they tend to be very able to entertain themselves. This Videlkin does not look like they are able to entertain themselves much in any way. She is elbow on the table, chin on the palm, drumming her hand, staring out a window. There is no one else, it seems, in the room. There's like a series of regulatory binders on a wall along the back wall, as well as a number of little pamphlets that are arrayed on a whatever those vertical pamphlet stands are called that I can't remember the name of now, with titles such as trenching and the dangers thereof, legal requirements for buildings over 1 story tall, watch for lightning, how to know if you're building too close to is it superstructures, and so on.
I'm just gonna pick up a copy of that lightning one.
Alright.
And then...
Go ahead.
Is there any about flooding or any just rogue experimentation sort of stuff?
There are 3 of them that could technically fit this. Oh, hey, Doom, thank you for subscribing. There are 3 pamphlets that would kind of maybe fit that. There is one, What to Do in the Event of a Catastrophic Escape. A one that is titled There Is a Ocean Beneath Us. And there is one that is titled, which one would that be? See, I did all these so long ago, and...
That's alright.
Okay, there it is. Why Grandma Had to Disappear. Which apparently has to do with Golgari farming methods.
Well, I'll take one of each. I'll just give a quick flip through of the first one.
The lightning one?
Or, no, the, there's a grandma that
Catastrophic Escape?
That one.
Okay. It is basically a 6-step process for preparing your family for the event of the escape of a experiment, crisis, elemental, mechanical, or uprising of a giant demon. It basically goes like, have a plan, communicate your plan with your family, have a meeting place, store enough food and water to survive for up to 3 weeks. And then specific details after that, such as, like, you can go and get food from these locations in this area. And if you need assistance locating a new place to stay, or if you need money, this is how you get in contact with an Orzhov debt priest.
Alright. Well, I'll pocket those, put them in my little satchel. I'm gonna walk up to the Vidal.
Yes?
I have been told to head up here. There has been what I've been informed is a zoning infraction and a safety hazard.
I see. 1 second.
Hand her my little letter.
She takes the letter and she, like, says, and then she reaches under the desk and pulls out maybe a 1/4-inch thick stack of papers. So, alright. Name?
Feral Tempest.
Okay. Affiliation?
The Is It League?
Ownership of the property in hand?
Not entirely sure. Notice Selesnian. But I'm not sure the exact details of that.
She scratches through. Nature of the zoning infraction.
A flood with possible creatures that are of unknown sorts living in there.
I see. She kind of stops and flips through like 3 pages. We'll just skip to the section on that then. How many limbs do these creatures have?
It varies. I have not seen any creatures, but there's evidence of something clawing our way around, just claw marks and rendering of metal and such. So they could vary.
Have you experienced a smelling of the scent of sweets or bitters or anything like that when there wasn't anything present that would be giving off those scents?
I do not believe so.
Okay. Do you feel like time is running backwards? I didn't hear a response.
No.
Okay. Have the creatures eaten anyone?
I am not entirely sure.
Okay. Have the creatures received proper medical care?
I do not believe so.
Okay. Would the water quality be rated as drinkable or non-potable?
Out of character? Probably not, right?
Probably not, no.
Okay, so no, definitely not drinkable.
I see here now. Was the sewer system damaged during the flooding of your property?
I do not entirely believe so.
Okay.
And it is not my property.
She makes a few marks and is like, reaches over, stamps it, hands the paper. Alright, here you go. Once you have cleared the infestation from the property, we will dispatch a team to check for infractions.
I shall head off then. Thank you for your time.
Alright, you have 30 days before that writ is expired and will need to be reauthorized.
God damn it.
Don't worry, I have another plan.
God damn Azorius.
So yeah, I'll head out.
The plan is like, I demand to speak to your manager.
I'm gonna head like a good distance away from Prav,
Okay.
but like kind of back to the area we were with the wherever Book Goblin is.
Alright, the book goblins are mostly in the tram stations now. At least in this area, they're not really seen wheeling around carts in the second precinct. It's a bit of a too nice of a neighborhood for that.
Yeah, I just want to head back to kind of where we left off,
Okay,
split up.
y'all kind of split off, and like a little plaza that had been kind of sprung up around that sub-tram platform.
Well, I'll head there. I want to put the earpiece back in
Okay.
and just tap a little bit. Hello? Hey, to... Which should I do it to? Who do I trust more? Probably the worst idea, but let's, fair bears for the win.
Okay.
Hooray!
So, Rail, Fairdeer, just to confirm, y'all were in the stacks for about maybe 40 minutes to an hour and a half?
Sounds right.
Alright. Yeah. Farrell, when you try and contact people through the Spy's Murmur, you don't get anything.
Cool. I'll just wait there then. I'll look around the Book Goblins. Just see what it has.
It's a collection of, like, penny dreadfuls and romances and stuff like that. It's basically...
I'm a simple boy. Did they have anything lightning? Just any sort of stuff like that. Just, it doesn't matter. Just the cover has like a lightning bolt on it.
There is a pulp fiction about a number of Izits who have to essentially, navigate their ways through the intrigue of the Izit League while trying to reach the upper levels of the Ismundi. It's kind of like a serialized action intrigue of sorts. It would be about 10 silver for this one, since it is a bit larger than the 10-story collections. This is something along the neighborhood of 90 pages.
Yeah, no, I'll take that. Yeah.
Alright. Fairdeer, Rail, after y'all leave, your headset starts working again because New Prav has a divination veil on it, which locks down scrying and as well as many communication spells.
So again, they kind of broke up there.
Yeah, exactly like that. New Prav, being the seat of the law, has a kind of divination veil of sorts where scrying, augury, and most communication spells don't function, which is why many of them have familiars to act as messenger birds. It also handily shuts down things like spies, murmurs, and stuff.
Well, crap.
Faraday knew that.
Faraday knew that.
I'm just going to repeat, goddamn Azorius.
I mean, it means they're doing their job.
We're out.
If you think about it, if you really think about it, that keeps lines of communication clear, because then it can only go information can only go through channels that they're meant to go through, and nobody can just telepathically be like, "Hey, heads up, like this is happening" and whatnot. And
That's pretty important.
throwing information around everywhere.
Yep.
Law enforcement. Yeah, I'm probably gonna send like a. Is hey, any update? Get out.
Sorry, you cut out a lot?
Hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
That does sound better.
In
I love
character.
that.
You hear
I
me?
love that would have worked in character and out.
Yeah.
In character. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hey.
Hey, so we're done with our thing. How are you doing?
I've got everything I needed to do done. I'm over at Book Goblin, where we were at before.
Is there any shopping out of character? Is there any shopping?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Second precinct is nice. I mean, it's not first precinct nice, but it's like, $8 lattes nice.
Do they have a medium quality one?
Medium.
not like- Yeah, not like bottom of the shelf, but not like aged for 300 years from the
wine.
Yes.
I thought you said wand. I was like, a medium quality wand. What would that even do?
It does what you want sometimes.
You can't cast magic with it, but you can conduct orchestras with it.
There is actually a wand of conducting.
Nice. Does it also give a bonus to electricity damage?
Yes, there is a nice little wine shop. Let's see here now. Second district near there. You are looking at the Owl and the Scroll. A medium-sized wine shop that smells faintly of tobacco and rich red berries as you enter. A bald elf with a Van Dyke beard and purple robes looks up at you from his countertop as you enter. So, welcome. How may I help you?
I'm looking for out middle of the road. Red wine, please.
I see. Is this for a special occasion?
Could be.
Every occasion with wine is a special occasion.
That is so true.
Depends on how it goes. Yeah.
Okay. He's kind of steps out from behind and goes over to the racks and starts like, let's see here now. Do you know any particular preferences on flavors?
Rail, this probably is more your domain.
Well, what? This is for, shoot, I cannot for life of me remember how her name is pronounced.
Arissa.
Wait, say it again, because you cut out.
Arissa.
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 Arissa, right. Okay. So, do you know anything about what she prefers? Anything about her tastes? No wine is perfect for everyone.
She knows how to use a block and a hammer.
Yes, unfortunately, wines aren't generally advertised with hints of hammer and just a fine note of block to the ankle.
And so we definitely cascade.
Wow. But yeah, if you're trying to woo her, you need to, the wine needs to match the recipient. You need to know what she likes, you need to know what you're trying to say with it. And most importantly, you need to be confident about it. Confidence. Why is this so much easier to say to somebody else than it was to do myself?
Mavana is standing 3 feet away from you.
Forget I said that out loud. It's been a long day.
So have
A
I
few
ever
days.
what she typically drinks?
Well, he goes
Oh, boy.
back behind the bar. I tend to have a more refined palate, but if you are looking for something for a special occasion, I could make a few suggestions.
I'm sitting here listening to this, and all I can think of is that one Team Fortress 2 short where it's like the spy is giving
Seduce me.
Scout is dating his.
Oh my god. I am not one of your fried chicken, whatever he says.
Bucket. He's like
Yeah.
chicken bucket girls. I am a woman.
But out of character, have I ever seen her like drinking a glass of wine or something when she was in the kitchen?
Like, you've seen her having a cup of table wine. Like, pitcher wine and stuff like that.
What kind of wine is that?
Like, a silver for a gallon? Cheap.
But is it red, white,
It's red. For the most part.
glow?
It's generally a red table wine, inexpensive, a blend of multiple different families, with a light fruity texture and a subtle hint of black cherry and plum.
Alright.
I think I'm gonna go with the red, maybe a clear.
Worst comes to worst, drink it yourself.
He reaches up off of the shelf and takes down a, not it's a small bottle, it's about maybe 750 milliliters, give or take, about the average size of a bottle. So, this is a Devoret 70. It says moderately aged, with jammy textures of red fruit and a mild spicy taste to its a mild spicy aftertaste to it that lingers for a moment before quenching.
What price?
This bottle will run you, and he kind of stops and looks Fair Deer over and then looks Rail over, and I make a roll. He turns to Rail and is like, this bottle will run 25 gold.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure.
At disadvantage. Where are my d20s? Dang it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Not so great, not so terrible. Insight is dirty 20. I finally rolled above a 10 on something.
Okay, I feel bad. He seems to be giving you an honest price.
Alright. I mean, it's not
I didn't hear the price.
25 gold.
25 gold.
Oh, yeah. I was wanting to make sure it wasn't like 500 or something. Yeah.
I mean,
That sounds
honestly,
fair.
when it comes to gifts, the thought really does matter a lot of the time. She'll
Yeah,
think that you're buying her wine.
Yeah, exactly. And this is kind of getting to know each other better. Hopefully, I can refine it. What goes on?
He
And-
sets the bottle down on the table. Would you like any accoutrement? Say maybe a couple sets of smoked cheese and sausage with a very light crisp.
Rail is kind of looking like, okay, that's getting to be a little much.
I think I'll just stick with the wine for now, but thank you.
All right. Would you like it wrapped?
Just regular. So, what kind of preparation for this temperature should it be?
I would either drink this relatively soon or store it in a cool, dry place at a no more than 45-degree downward angle. You want to make sure that the cork remains wet and that the bottle is relatively stable.
But served at room temperature? Or...
Served at room temperature will be fine. You may want to open it about 30 minutes to 40 minutes before you plan on drinking it, or decant it yourself into a suitable vessel. If you do not have a suitable vessel, and he gestures to a number of decanters on the wall next to him.
Thank you, but I'm friends with the alcoholic goblin.
I do not know how to respond to that.
A classy alcoholic goblin.
That's excellent to know.
It's good to see somebody who knows their business.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so
Are
much.
business cards a thing in Ravnica?
Yeah. Cathal has a shit ton of them.
Yeah, so... But more importantly, does this place have cards?
Yeah, he has one.
Yeah, I'll take one.
It has a stylized owl grasping a scroll in one claw while perching on a bottle of wine that's laying on its side.
Finally, something in this district worth actually coming back to.
Well, thank you.
I'm gonna head out and meet up with Frizz.
Alright.
Wait, we agreed to meet up, right?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Okay.
before we split up. Yeah.
It is what, a 34-year-old bottle of wine?
Yes.
Rail
Alright.
is too tired to give good advice.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
That was out of character.
Ingrid, you've spent the past
Rail
8 hours...
does not speak about himself in the third person.
Ingrid, you have spent the past 8 hours casting Identify on the same object.
Oh, 3 hours, and I did it half the time and took notes.
Okay.
Talked to Leslie.
Nah. And so now I think you have pretty much learned everything that you can expect to learn without first-hand experimentation with the coin.
After the 3 hours on the way back to Rithin, I wanted to stop by with person.
Okay. Perder is no longer there. He has moved on. I'm getting there. As such, there is a sign. You said Emerson, yes?
Yeah, I wanted to get to-go dinner for Rithin on the way out, though.
Okay. So Leslie will pack you a meal to go if you ask her for that. She'll pack you 2 of them. She won't give you a picnic blanket or anything like that, but she'll definitely pack you up some food. Perder has left, and so Emerson's Forge has a sign out in front that she is seeking a new apprentice. She is within the forge. Her dog is just kind of laying on the floor under one of the tables as she is going about her business, filling little billets and putting them next to the foundry to let the metal start to soften. So listen to, hi, how can I help you?
Hey, Emerson, I had a bit of a question on a type of metal I found. I was wondering if you've ever worked with this. And she gets out the basketball-sized adamantine that matches her armor.
She kind of like looks, says, that's a fancy bit of metal there. She gestures to one on the table. Could you please? As
Yeah,
she goes around and picks up a few things, and go ahead.
It's old family armor was made out of this, and then we ran into some. I was just kind of thinking maybe I could try to get a circlet or something that would hold a gem made.
She takes a, it looks like a kind of chalk stick, and finds a bit of, like, the exposed metal, and kind of rubs the stick on top of it for a bit, before taking and tapping the dust into, like, a little bowl. She's like, goes over and sets the dust on fire. As it, like, flares up, the color of the flame is this scintillating rainbow effect before it burns. And so, well, that's
Might
real.
be adamantium.
Yeah.
It's really hard to work with, I've heard. I can work with a lot of the softer metals in small quantities, but not sure what to do with this one.
I mean, I'll frank with you, honey. The most I've ever worked with is stuff like, steel and iron. The people come to me for horseshoes and stuff like this. You need someone that's like,
Got an is-it friend, maybe?
I mean, I've a couple of the folk that live out of town brought me scrap over the past couple of years. I always just melted that down and sold it to the Is-it. We can make some decent money that way. This is way outside my skill range. I'm sorry.
Oh, thanks for taking a look. So, and since Ingrid doesn't actually plan to eat the meal herself, she's like, I ended up with an extra meal from the thing. Do you want?
No,
dinner?
I appreciate that. I mean, if you want to, I could take that off your hands for, say, and she goes over and starts, like, pulling down her coffer and starting to count through her coins.
The metal? No, I need to get it worked.
Oh, okay. She closes the,
Hey, my group's been wanting, I don't know, some magic stuff made for water. Maybe we can make some kind of little pieces or rings or something that could be worked with. Who knows? Ingrid looks a little bit sad and puts it away.
Sorry. I mean, I'd love a chance to work with it, but I don't know if I'd be able to do much more than burn it.
I'll see if I do find someone to work with it, I'll see if they'll chip off a chunk. Maybe I can bring some by next time.
Appreciate it. Good to see you again. You take care now.
Ingrid waves and heads off to her meeting.
Alright. When you arrive at the barracks, there are a few more people kind of milling around, as is the end of the second shift. A few of them are just kind of hanging out on their bunks chatting. One or two are at a table nearby playing cards. Rithin is talking to a... who would he be talking to? It's still the 14th, right?
Yep.
I'll grab my other paper. And it would probably be... Where are you at? Where are you at? Nope, 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 nope. Come on. Sorry, I'm waiting for Windows to open my Microsoft Word document to open because I don't know why.
Microsoft Word is terrible.
Yeah. pretty much. Okay, yeah, he would be talking to the other Devkaran that you have seen around here before. A black-haired woman with blue eyes with a silver ring around them, named Leah, Lia. He is handing over some papers as you come in and looks up and like nods to her before standing and coming over to you. So, Miss Ingrid, I was... that took me longer than I would like, but I am now free if you would still care to accompany me somewhere.
Yes, I've got the dramas over by the stable at the market. If you still want to go that far afield, otherwise, if you seem a bit tired, we can stay somewhere around. Maybe just the tables at the market.
Whatever will make you most happy, Miss Ingrid.
I know sometimes those... As much as you love the dramas, I know sometimes they don't love you.
They have a bit of a bite to them, I will give you that. But no, wherever you would be most comfortable is fine.
We'll go for the ride.
Alrighty then. And so, where are y'all riding off to? The fountain?
I guess so.
Alright. It's about like a 10-minute ride. Thanks to the Dromids, it's much longer of a walk. You see a number of rust monsters, large kind of rust-colored insects with feathery antennas, kind of building a sort of a honeycombed nest out of the walls as y'all pass by them. A few stop and kind of like at you and wave their antennas, but don't seem to be overtly hostile towards y'all.
That nest is getting a bit bigger.
He kind of like gives a slight nod, looking over his shoulder towards the city. So, I think this is probably far enough, if that's okay, Miss Ingrid. At the edge of the plaza, he settles down, gets down, and then comes over and offers a hand to help her down.
She'll take that and then start setting out the food supplies. I don't know if Emerson took the meal or not.
She didn't.
Okay. We'll go ahead and set out both, though.
He will... It's not so much that he doesn't help, it's more he stands off to the side and allows her to set it up how she would want, instead of trying to set it up for her. But once the food is set up, he settles down in a kind of half-reclining position with his legs crossed.
I've been trying to plan a bit of an outing.
So, well, this is quite... It's nice to get out.
I don't know how interested you'd be, but you know those tokens that come every year for the Millennial Platform. I don't know if you could get the time off work either, but been trying to get a group together for that. Nice trip at dusk, so it won't be too bright.
He kind of nods slowly and takes a bite. Since this is quite a ways away from home, I would need to set things up well in advance. I'm glad you're talking to me about this now.
Just in case to see if he had any plans, I sent Colin a letter too.
He blinks at that. It's like, I see.
Figured y'all would need to talk to your mother, of course, ahead of time.
Yes, we would. It will be. I will be glad to have that conversation with her for you, Miss Ingrid. He takes a bite of the food. It's like,
Should I go talk to her on it? I can.
no, it is okay. I will do. It is not the conversation I was expecting to have, but I have no problem having a conversation.
Just, tokens come around. I still haven't made it there, and with all the accidental portal travel and stuff, it has such a good ported view of Ravnica. It would be nice to get a good view of the place I'm from in case I end up in a place I shouldn't necessarily be again.
He nods a bit. You mentioned a few about the dragon with the fork.
Yeah, it brought us back with magic fork. I think we were in a different a place that doesn't connect directly to Ravnica?
He reaches into his vest with one hand, and he takes Ingrid's hand with the other, and sets an object in her palm. A 4-inch long black stone with gem facets cut into the shape of a tuning fork. I hope you do not mind. I asked my brother to help me a bit with this. In case you ever go traveling, this will guarantee you can always find a way back home.
Aw. Not an official gift, though, is it? Or
Ingrid, could
wouldn't
I ask
mind if
something
it
of
was
you?
an official gift.
I would like you to come and converse with my mother about this.
Yes. I've been started working on a gift for you back in Cesarm.
He smiles and nods and puts a hand on her shoulder. And it's like, my family is difficult, and we have many secrets among us. But the ones that I am most trepidatious about are the ones that involve my youngest siblings.
You mentioned a younger brother?
Mm-hmm. He is not Devkarin. He is Devkarin, but he is something else. Something demonic. Something monstrous. I tell you this not to scare you, but because I enjoy your company, Miss Ingrid, and I want you to know the truth about my family, even though it may make us vulnerable.
I did say what little I know about, like, the hair and eye color to, Valora when asking her mission.
Mm-hmm.
To, Uvar Consort. And, she did say there was something popular for bloodlines, more so a few thousand years ago. So I'm not necessarily, it's not necessarily a known concept. There might be some other energies.
My mother is very old, and though I have younger siblings, I have far, far more older siblings.
Suppose I'm technically adopted in my erstwhile family.
Our family is our family. We choose them. We may be
Something-
boring to some, but please continue.
Something changed a bit recently to make me a little bit more like my family. Will have the side effect of I should have about a normal Devkaran lifespan.
He blinks a bit. You will?
I mean, it's a little bit hard to tell yet, but so far all the other indicators from that have worked. I mean, I technically don't need to eat or sleep either.
Huh. Well, I would hope you not think it too bold or forward of me to say that I could see that being a great boon for both your protection and for your freedoms.
I didn't want to tell you too soon because, if it didn't happen, that
I understand.
would be a bit of an overclaim.
And he kind of stands up after eating the rest of the food and holds out a hand. So, would you be up for having this conversation with my mother tonight? Or are
Yes.
you going... Okay.
Yes, I would.
He smiles. Then we should return before the gates get locked.
Probably a good precaution.
Alright. Grigum! Are you still there?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm here.
Sorry, I just have a blank gray screen with you. And I didn't want to
Really?
interrupt. Yeah, I didn't want to
Yeah, I
interrupt
can
stuff.
see them.
Yeah, it's
I'll
entirely on my
cycle
end.
the screen.
No, it's
Okay,
not.
I can.
It's not on your end. It's on my end.
Okay, I just figured I could cycle the screen if you want me to.
I mean,
And you'll be focusing on him. Do you want to?
I'm about to. Hey, that worked.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. And hey, I didn't even break the stream. Alright, Grigum, you set up in the kind of crowded bedroom in the back of the house. Had yourself a little nap, some meditation, a nice little mix of veggie and some meat and bread and cheese and stuff like that. Just going to hang out there, or are you going to go out onto the street, or just maintain your
I
evening?
definitely am going to make the rounds in the street.
Alright, early evening, the streets are much more alive than they were when you were first approaching. There's goblins, humans, a few Veshino. Here in the border between the 4th Precinct and the Red Wastes, there seems to be all kinds that are kind of living out in here. Many have a grill or a fire pit going, and the smell of roasted meats and shared alcohol just permeates the air. A few people wave at you as you come out. You recognize the goblin that was hanging out on the stoop that you were talking to earlier as one of the ones that is tending a half of a boar, it looks like, just on a spit roast over open coals that right out in the middle of the street.
I kind of just nod to him and keep going. He's like,
He nods back. He's like, hey! He waves you over.
I guess I walk over. He's like,
He pulls a knife from his belt and goes over to the boar and just cuts off maybe a 3-inch slab off of its hindquarters before tossing it to his. For the bottle, my man.
Thank you.
Pay it forward like I did. And he goes back to, like, kind of turning the spit.
I nod to him and I keep walking. I keep wandering the streets.
Just make me a
Just kind of
D20 roll.
chewing away at the meat. What's a 3 do you?
There's, it's not immediately obvious, but you do notice at key points, every other street or at the intersections, there's an Azorius law mage or two keeping an eye on people, making sure that no one is getting into fights, or any fights that are started are short. There's a few Rakdos in the area just doing minor tricks. One's juggling, another has a series of small, hard-looking balls that he is ricocheting off of nearby objects and catching in a kind of acrobatic display. There's a female elf with kind of long blonde hair in green and silver robes, being accompanied by 3 goblins in a kind of khaki vest and pith helmets heading towards the north.
Oh yeah, those 3. Looks like I guess business is doing good for them. So, who was it again that was doing the acrobatic display?
Is there a Rakdos? It's a very Slavette-looking man. He is just in a... The only way you know he is a Rakdos is that he has the traditional red and black vest on with the guild emblem sewn onto it. He has 3 what look like hard metal balls, and he is doing like he does like a flip, and while he's in the air he throws the ball. It strikes off of a street lamp and flies in another direction, and as he lands he catches it.
I see. Well, I guess I keep wandering. I maybe toss like a coin to the street performer at least.
He has a small little bag set out. It's got like maybe 5-10 zib, it looks like, in there. Are you going to wander south, or are you going to wander north? Towards the Red Waste or towards the town?
I guess a little bit towards the Red Waste for now.
Alright. The farther north you go, the more sparse the population seems to get. You're now getting towards where the buildings weren't really rebuilt much. You see like a Orzhov debt temple and a barrister's office, basically a all-in-one service provided by the Orzhov at the very farthest edge of town. There's a few liquor stores that seem to be catering to just whoever happens to be wandering in and out of the Red Wastes. That seem like they take barter as much as coin. You even see a few centaur up in this area. Um, Two of them have a person on each on. Two of them are charging at each other with a person on their back, and as they slam into each other, their hind legs go up in the air with them wrestling against each other, while the two people on their backs try and reach around, grabbing at and trying to pull the other person off. Like it's some sort of competition or sport or game, as near as you can tell.
Hmm. I guess I watched for a little bit. He's like,
All right.
before moving on. He's like,
It seems to be just the two centaurs and the two men riding on their back. And they just go at each other again and again and again. There is a really loud, like, thud as one of them grips the other and just twists them over, flipping the centaur on his side and sending the human on his back flying. Before they laugh and help each other back up and then go back about it.
Alright, yeah, I guess we better start heading back more cityward.
Alright. As you head back south, towards the city more, the buildings start to become more populated. It doesn't take too long for you to hit that little urban area where things are run down a little bit, but people are still living there. The block party, if that's what it is, or just the nightly gathering of people to share food and story and drink, seems to be winding down.
Guess there isn't much in the way of trouble around here, huh? Like,
Not with the Azorius standing there, keeping an eye on. There's a few people that, like, have a brief scuffle, but it never really seems to go past, like, a push or two and a quick punch. Anything beyond that, the Azorius seem to step in and stop, but no one seems to be getting arrested or hauled off.
I guess I'll probably talk to someone about the Azorius presence here. Like,
Okay, there's a few people around. Anyone, any personality that you are looking to interact with particularly?
maybe one that, how can I put it? Like, one that seems very gossipy, I guess. It's like one that definitely likes to talk about the goings on around them.
There are one of the options of that catches your eye is a series of 3 female goblins just kind of like sitting on the curb side of the road, chatting with each other. They kind of are gossiping back and forth that you can overhear a little bit, talking about how the Red Wastes seems like really quiet lately. One of them is talking about how they walked about 2 miles to go and get some food and an event that happened to them on that trip.
Actually, wait, can you repeat that?
Yeah. I mean, the ones that catch your eye towards, like, the gossipy is a series of 3, not younger, but youngish looking goblin females are just kind of sitting on curbside, just chatting and gossiping back and forth with each other about stuff that's been going on, about how a trip up to the Red Waste, they didn't find many people that wanted to do any barter or trading, or how a trip down towards the Golgari food distribution location, they got stopped and had to stop and watch a couple carriages pass by before they could keep on going, and talking about how the carriages were all fancy and decked out in black and gold.
Okay, I guess I'll swing them by to them and pretty much hey, drink for some gossip.
They're like, hey, okay. And, they kind of do the give me hands. It's like,
yeah, just pass it around, and I hand off with the endless flask.
what you need to know, what you want to know, and they take a sip and then pass on to the next.
I've been seeing a lot of Zoria's presence around here since I last was here.
Oh yeah. See, they've been hanging around here ever since the incursion. See, they had that big ring around, and then once the Gruul got pushed back into the wastes, they kind of set up a couple more people, and then they've been having people hanging out at the street corners for about, oh geez, it's been months now. You don't even notice them really.
Really? What do they have to say about it? You know?
A couple of them are okay. I mean, most of them are okay. They recognize, gotta blow off a little steam. It's like, she'll reach over and shove one of her friends a little. But they don't really, give you too much shit about it. As long as you don't really hurt anyone or break anything, they don't haul you off. Of course, those are the good ones. They're the ones that are they'll just stop you because you're walking green. But there ain't not many of them, and they're pretty easy to avoid, so.
Interesting. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, what is? I mean, they're supposed to be keeping the peace, so I guess they're keeping the peace one way or the other. Just the ones that are friendly about it are better. And she'll one of them take a sip of the flat. Damn, that's good. And they'll toss it back to you.
I take a sip myself, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just worried that they might be here for more reasons than to keep the peace. Probably are on the lookout for something, or maybe they're hoping to protect something that passes through.
Maybe. I mean, that's guild business. I ain't worried about the guild business as long as it don't cause no problem on the street.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't cause problems, huh? Start passing drink around again.
You kind of take another sip, a couple another rounds,
And I guess at this point I'm just wanting to chat about any.
I can tell you the people that don't like having their Azorius up here, the Slags. Slagfists really don't like that. They were running muscle and, acting as the toughs for this area for a while, but with the Azis here, I mean, they ain't got no one to protect or anything like that, so ain't paying protection to them anymore.
Think they might cause trouble?
Slags are slags. I mean, they're too busy fighting with the blood laws.
And how have they been doing lately?
I mean, they're normally farther south, but they've been starting to expand up towards this range a bit. I mean, well enough. They all follow the rules. The whole their code and stuff like that. Do what the boss says. Don't talk to the Azis. Don't hurt the police. Stuff like that. They'll take another couple
Yeah.
sips before passing the bottle back.
Well, like, I do hope that your carriage, your business is like does better soon. Like,
Eh. Keeping busy's all about.
yeah, like, I suppose that's true.
They kind of are half talking to you, half watching the Rakdos performer as he's collecting the last little bits of his tips and starting to pack his stuff away. It's getting pretty late in the evening. A lot of people seem to be starting to disperse. A couple of them are just kind of hanging out near the fire, talking with each other. A few of them are looking up or just kind of at the stars or watching the area just in general.
Okay, like, I guess Griggum will start heading his way back home, like, and probably will take a few shortcuts, like in some back alleys, just to make time. Like,
Alright. Make a perception roll for me.
all right. 14.
14. You kind of duck through a few alleyways. You notice, like, a pair of goblins in black shirt with, like, a mask over their face, with this odd contraption in one hand. It looks like the lower part of it is a glass tube filled with this kind of reddish liquid. It has a metal band around it and a toggle lever. They are holding down the toggle lever and spraying the red liquid across the bricks of one of the buildings, doing like a very loosely stylized Rakdos logo in paint. They like look up at you as you enter the alleyway, like, and two of them like beat their chest at you.
Do what?
They kind of like beat their chest while looking at you.
I look at them. I look at their drawings. Like, you need to put a little bit more over there. Like,
We'll get it.
stay safe for tonight, all right?
Where's the fun of that?
Like, it means more for tomorrow.
Someday tomorrow ain't gonna come. Have your fun while
that
you
day
can.
But that day hasn't come yet. Like,
They kind of turn back and go back to like helping each other like spray the Rakdos logo.
it's like this weird, serene thing to it, almost. To at least to Griggum, where it's like, even people like this, they're just working together for something so simple. Like, and they're happy at doing it. And it's like, yeah, sure, it may not be it's vandalism, but still.
The rest of the way back to the house is without incident.
So yeah, I arrive back home.
There is a mass of maybe 1.5 foot tall goblin children in the front foyer, just chewing on like strips of meat and bread and vegetables, and just the chatter is deafening of like 8 of these children just talking over each other at the same time. Mama Ket is moving among them and giving them, like, making sure everyone's eating, making sure they're like chewing enough and swallowing. One or two of the other goblins that were in the kitchen helping her earlier are cleaning up after the kids. And there is like a sound of people in the back, either fighting or yelling or something like that at each other.
Yeah, like for Graham, it just feels so odd and yet so right. Like for so many years of like learning to be, sitting in quiet contemplation, and then coming back home to all this, and it was this for him feels far more serene than any meditation in Wooded Glen could do for him. And pretty much over the din, he tries asking, "Is there anything I can do to help?"
Yeah, Ket like cups a hand over her ear as she sees you talking, nods and points towards the back where the yelling is coming from.
And I head on back.
All right, back there, through the door, you can hear 2 figures like kind of yelling back and forth. Look, I don't know what to do with them. I just brought them here because I don't found them. And he's like, well, we can't leave them here because we can't be caught with them. It'll cause problems in the long run.
I guess I just enter.
Alright. 2 goblins look up at you as you enter. One of them has like a cut across their nostril, like someone took a knife, put up their nose, and then slit it open. And it's like they turn to both look at you. And on the table between them are 4 pistols and several pieces of ammunition.
Grigum pretty much just whistles like, "Where'd you find those?" Look.
Fell off the back of a truck. Or wagon.
Oh, like a wagon passed through here?
Yeah, fancy one.
Headed where?
Just heading to the west. Towards the docks. Or, wait, no.
Dock, you say. Right.
Yeah.
Take your time.
East. Heading towards the east, towards the docks.
East towards the docks. The docks, you say. Any particular guild you recognize?
Nah. Black carriage, gold, look like those fancy fucks.
I see. Do I know anyone that has red and gold? I think, was it like
Black and gold. You've ridden in a black and gold carriage.
Yeah, like do I know who associates with those colors?
You've ridden in a black and gold carriage when the Orzhov came to pick you up and forcibly take you to meet us off.
Yeah, no, that's... I've been hearing about them a few times today. Like, that doesn't bode well.
Yeah, well, they're short one carriage, and he picks up one and's like, at least one of these.
Could you say that again? You broke up.
One of the goblins picks up one of the pistols. Well, they're short one carriage, and at least one of these, and sticks the short one carriage.
What happened to it?
Yeah. Same thing that happened with these. And he sticks the gun in his pocket.
And just what do you intend to do with that?
Same thing you do with a dagger or a knife or a sword.
Well, at least a dagger you can cut you with.
Yeah, you can do something with this to meat.
Certainly. Still though, do you mind if I take one of them? You can keep the ammunition. I'm just curious about this gun.
Sure. He, pushes one of them forward on the table.
He picks it up, looks at it, and is yeah,
It just looks like a basic flintlock. There is a little filigree around the muzzle tip with a sunburst the top of it, but that's about the most ornamentation on it. It's very rugged and basic looking.
Yeah, I may as well keep it anyway for someone else to look at, or at least some manner of proof that something has happened around here.
Yeah, well, as long as you don't tell him, you got to hear.
Don't worry. In character, I say, don't worry. I won't say a word.
They kind of look back.
We're all family here afterwards.
Yeah, we're all family. Gotta look out for family. Alright, so we are about almost to 3 o'clock. I think we will pick up next week with Ingrid's conversation with Leah and Rithin, if that's okay.
Yeah, sorry for my meanderings, but I feel that this is something Griggum needed.
That's fine. That's not okay,
That
Isabel?
conversation needed to be rushed anyway. It shouldn't be rushed.
Yeah, some of these conversations I have been waiting a while for.
I particularly like what happened to this crate of pistols. It fell off of a wagon. What happened to the wagon? The same thing. Wagon fell off of a wagon?
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm just thinking, inherited, fell off a wagon, inherited a wagon.
Yeah, there was a tow wagon that was carrying the other wagon. Pistols.
Of course.
And who says D&D is only fun if you're doing combat?
I'm not saying that it's only fun if you do combat. It's that the system
Rail is
itself
really
is meant
looking forward
for
to
combat.
I was just really looking forward to that short rest.
Oh, yeah.
Levels of exhaustions are no fun.
No, I need to figure out some way to force you to make a bunch more ability checks before I can let you sleep. Oh.
Fred's got stuck with paperwork.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
He's it. He knows how to queue.
Yeah. Plus, I think we did the right thing here. That's what matters.
I mean, again, historically, the only reason why we didn't do that initially is because with those specimens, whoever took ownership of that would have a lot of...
Right, and again, I was all for, hey, we should destroy this, because this is, quote unquote, all this is unnatural, and even if they were still alive, they don't want to keep living like this. And it's if they had any, any say in the matter.
I'm very happy that the half-blind, half-deaf Azorius bookkeeper got to come back. You met the sulky Videlkin, too, that was only half listening, and so you now have a 30 days to clear a infestation so they can send a team in to figure out how bad the infractions are.
Yeah. It's fine. It's about what I expected.
As long as they're not charging us or Frizz.
I mean, Frizz is the one with the 30-day injunction.
Yeah, it's me only. Might as well just head back to mystics and see if we can get a crew. Unless we find another crew that will be willing to work, probably for free.
Or the promise of pay that never comes.
Yeah.
Alright, hey guys, this has been a lot of fun. I need a nap.
Same.
We'll see y'all later.
You all have a nice day. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. I've had a ton of fun. I got to do a bunch of new voices today. I'm super happy about that.
Getting your goblin voice could work out, certainly.
Yeah. But yeah, no. 4 hours. 4 hours of doing voices. I need a nap. You guys have a nice one. Everyone in the chat, thanks for sticking with us. If you feel up to it, stick with us a little bit longer as I run a commercial or two to try and do a little revenue build towards, gain some art, gain some fancy stuff going. We are going to be having a special Shadowrun Session 0 in a few weeks. So if you're not following at Bonus Roll on Twitter, follow at Bonus Roll on Twitter because you're going to find out when that's going to happen. Alright, Meryl, say the line.
Alright, in these uncertain times, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and please, make like a polite werewolf. Like and subscribe.
Do we have a cone?
Whoever said it takes two to tango had forgotten about the musicians in the band.
Ooh, I like that one.
That's a good one. I like that one. Alright, you guys
It's
take
like,
care.
Is the glass half empty or half full? It's completely full, just not of water.
So true.
Okay, we got the thanks for watching screen up.
Alright.
Alright.
I like the fact that at this point, Second Sight Agency is like Cowboy Bebop. We somehow have enough funds to continue existing, but on screen we never make any money.